Hello. How's everyone doing? Sorry for the slight delay from the timer I set, but we here. Issue with my starting screen. I was not typing in "We Will Beg" with this creepy music. Kind of fit though, not gonna lie. How's everyone doing today? I need to fix one thing I forgot to do. Hey there, Chris. How you doing, bud? To be honest, I wasn't gonna. So I'm trying to create something here. I should have done this beforehand. There's a few things I messed up. I was working the last couple days on doing a lot of stuff for stream. Really work out. But yeah, I wasn't gonna stream, but I got 3 hours of sleep before work today. And it seems like it's gonna be the same thing today. I don't think I'm gonna be getting any sleep. So I thought, hey, instead of being by myself and everything, hang out with you guys, mostly you, Chris. Let's be honest, but maybe some other people. Sometimes evil comes in. I don't know if I like that. As for how I've been, it's after what I talked about on my last stream. Yeah, it's been rough. As I probably just illustrated as well with my lack of sleep. Like, I had 3 hours of sleep this morning and I'm streaming now. Well, yeah. But I'll be okay. I just need to get through today. How you been doing, Crisp? Thank you for asking, by the way. Did you enjoy the football game with your family? I think that's what you're doing last time. Well, I know that's what you were doing. I just don't know for sure if it was last time I talked to you. You know, I kind of like that. Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. March, June. I don't know how school works over there. It's a little different everywhere, but wait, oh, I forgot to pull my sheet up. Hold on a second. Okay. Oh, that is so much better. Yeah, like how long do you have break? Or are you doing summer classes right now? Because I know my little brother is. Man, I don't know if I like the way I made the Earth glitchy here. I don't know. The idea is that we're in a computer right now, like all of us, but I think it might be a little too much. I'm going for more subtle effects, but I just keep getting stuff like this. Rainbow. Hey, that works. Okay, I like that. Yeah, I think I'll leave it as is. This is our new little game room. It's very similar to the old one, but now it looks a little prettier. I've been working on a lot of stuff for stream, though I haven't been streaming. And we should have a YouTube music request bot now. I don't know how it works, but it's there. The one thing I forgot to do, or I was going to do it today, later today, but I was going to create my own soundboard that I can use, that you guys can hear. And free up some space on the Redeem soundboard, so you guys have more stuff that you guys can enjoy use. But I haven't got to that yet. But it's very easy to set up, so I'll be doing that soon. Besides that, well, this hasn't really changed like at all. But I now have an intermission screen. So when I'm gaming, or we're watching something, or we're in the movie time stuff, this little image will pop up here showing what we're doing when I need to BRB for whatever reason, so I don't just like fuck off and then forget to put BRB back and all that, because it's such a pain in the ass to do it the way I was doing before. Now we have that. I spruced up this room a little bit. Open. Ooh. There we go. So yeah, I got some movie posters and added some lights and stuff to the floor. It looks nicer, I think. We're gonna start watching some Evangelion soon, and do the Final Fantasy VII stuff. But I'm gonna wait to do a lot of that stuff until you play. Oh, what the hell? There I am. Yay! Actually, I don't think I changed anything with this one, just added the chat. And this is a huge work in progress, but it's funny looking. This is my drawing desk. I'm gonna draw an actual desk and my character drawing, and I'm working with someone right now to set up a rig to where it'll animate the hand and follow what I'm doing on the thing. Maybe even just draw the hand. But yeah. Oh, nope. Oh, I added a fog effect to that beginning screen. It's pretty cool. I also fixed all my audio channels, so we shouldn't have issue with sound anymore. Like, oh, that's something else I forgot to do. Sorry, this off topic, but well, not off topic, but anyway, I separated all the sound channels from mic, game audio, browser audio, everything. So now we can balance those out to any way we like, and not fuck around with the Kingdom Hearts or any other game's volume the way we used to. So that'll be nice. Better audio quality. And also I set it up for that bot to where I can control that volume on here, so when I'm listening to music we can just edit that. It won't affect anything else we're doing, so that's nice. What else did I do? Oh, I'm gonna set it up to where I can play phone games on my computer and you guys can see it. And also set it up to where we can have a video up if I'm doing some long grinding bullshit, so we can watch, because I like to multitask. I like to watch something while I'm doing a mindless grind. So let's say I'm back in that Final Fantasy XIV grind area where it just I'm no life in that area or whatever. Instead of watching me do repetitive tasks the entire time, we'll see that, but we'll also have a view screen for a video that we can watch, like a longer documentary, and get through those long essay videos. That's a very easy thing, but it's a work in progress too. So soundboard and that are what I'm working on. But I think I'm happy with how the stream is for now. Just gotta fix the PNG streamer. Anyway. That's everything I've been doing. Sorry if I'm slurring my words or anything right now. I'm super tired. But yeah. You excited to be done with your semester? Get some breakaway from school? I remember that was my favorite period of time from school. For college specifically. Like, I actually hated in high school when I'd be in summer, mostly because the only way I could contact my friends. This was like, well, I was in high school, the first year of high school, when YouTube and stuff in MySpace came out. And most of my friends, the only way I could see them is at school, so I hated it then. But then when I got to college, I'm like, oh, thank God I could just play video games. So, are you going to catch up to all your Final Fantasy stuff during that break? Oh, whoops. Oh, that's the Earth. That's why it's so big. Okay. That's why I have it that way. Let's see. I'm going to go to Twitch while you message me and I'm going to see if that music bot works now. There we go. True. Again, I like 4, but I think 5 is just fantastic. So I want to see what, or hear what your thoughts are when you get to that one. I mean, that with a lot of them, frankly, because 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10 specifically. Oh, jeez. Oh, Palm and Pim or whatever. Yeah, they got turned into statues from what I remember, right? They were gonna block a door or some shit. Like, block it from closing, or some walls from closing. Something like that. I don't see the jukebox thing. Let me see if I need to configure it. Oh, jukebox. Fuck. Jukebox. I need Spotify for this, but I traded paying for Spotify to pay for YouTube Plus, because I use YouTube Plus so much more, and I can use music, and it, you know, skips ads and all that. So that sucks. So maybe can't use that. I mean, if there was a way for me to skip the ads without paying for it, I'd definitely do it. Let me look something up real quick. Are you gonna play Final Fantasy IV: The After Years? I'm not sure when it started, but Final Fantasy IV: The After Years is a sequel to 4, but it's also, like, as far as I know, with the phone game version I played and the PSP version. No, I played the PSP version, sorry. With the PSP version, non 3D, it was part of the game. It had the same battle system and everything, but it was about a new generation. I never played it myself, but I saw some interesting things in there that I can't say anymore until you beat 4. Let's see. Music extensions. It's completely canon, but I just never played it. I don't know why. I think it's because I was like, oh, this is stupid. I only want the original story. Me. It's basically 4-2. Damn. There's nothing really out there for, like, YouTube. I guess the other thing that I could do is just make a public playlist that I can share with viewers, obviously you, in descriptions where we just add music that we want to share, and I just go through it and play it on stream. I wanted a more involved thing though, and that's why I like that the idea of the jukebox thing. But maybe I'll have to cave in. Maybe I'll cave in and get Spotify again. And that way we can have dedicated music and stuff. That'd be cool. But then you're missing out on some of the weird stuff on YouTube, like covers and stuff. Monte Carlo, huh? What the hell is that? Oh, I see. DVD screensaver with chat? What the fuck is this? What is this extension? Oh my god. I didn't know I was so nostalgic for something until I saw it. Little DVD icon that would bounce around the TV when you were playing DVDs back in the day. Man, I love how convenient media is nowadays, but I also really dislike it at the same time, because whenever technology advances, we kind of lose something. Like the little things in between. God, I remember using VHSs. Fuck, I'm old. I'll search one more thing real quick. Dead by Daylight build? What the fuck? Is that like an extension that lets chatters pick your build for Dead by Daylight? What a weird thing. Oh, Xbox Live, oh boy. It tracks my trophies? No way. Oh. I saw a little flicker. I saw a little flicker of some asshole trying to view bot. But hey, that new survey bot is pretty dope. Is this fixed? Oh, I added a little special sound to the soundboard. You'll never guess what it's from. Hey, cool, I can actually fucking redeem shit now. I don't know why sometimes it doesn't let me. Oh yeah, I did too. My uncle would rip movies and get them for free online when we were growing up, burn them on DVDs. I might be in America, but I grew up in the ghetto. So that's the only way we could see new movies. I don't know what we're gonna do on stream, by the way. I'm debating Kingdom Hearts. I'm definitely gonna do it today. Like, I'm gonna stop streaming in a couple hours and come back later today and do some more. You wouldn't download a car? What is that from? Oh, it's from an ad? I think I might have. I think I just found a link to it right here. Oh! Oh, yeah, I remember this. Hold on, let's go to the viewing room. Okay. I think this is it, right? Let's pause this ambient music. That's awesome ambient music, though. I will definitely hold on to that. Let me say, oh man, my brain right now. Yeah, I the way my brain works, man, it's really annoying. Honestly, it's like I have a really good memory and I can remember things extremely well, highly detailed from a long time ago. But when it's someone else brings it up to me, like something up to me, then like I'm blank until I like see something or hear something, and then it just snaps right back to me. It all comes right back immediately. Oh my god. I love the early 2000s, man. The early 2000s were so edgy and trying to be so cool all the goddamn time, and to be honest, I really appreciate it. Oh my god. I think I saw that right after this cartoon called Detention would play. Funny enough, like the first time I saw it. It was a Saturday morning cartoon on public access television, and I think I came on like right afterwards. I wonder if they planned that. But, you know what? Oh my god, yeah, that's it right there. Wow, I haven't seen any of this in forever. Holy shit. I don't know if you've ever seen this show. I don't know why the theme song stays rent free in my freaking head. You know, why don't we watch it real quick? Get, that's right. WB Channel 2 on Saturday mornings when they were still showing Pokemon and stuff.
When we got into this preteen haze,
our parents told us it was just a phase.
Mom and Dad, we hate to burst your bubble.
I haven't seen this in 25 years.
We're gonna get in trouble.
It doesn't matter what we do or say, 'cause the teachers always get their way. When we try to sit and pay attention, we always lose control and wind up in detention. Detention, uh-oh.
No running in the halls now, no writing on the walls now. Detention, uh-oh.
Like the kid with the yellow cap always stuck out in my head because of how he's designed. And yeah, like subliminal bullshit like what we just watched would pop up will just pop up right afterwards. I think they planned that stuff. That's crazy. I used to love that show. I think it's because I was in middle school right as that was coming out too. Okay, sorry. I clicked on the Versus 13 video. I'm just saving it for later. We will not be going into a lengthy discussion about it. It's okay. This looks exactly like something I would watch when I was 6 and then forget about in years, only remembering a few details, but not the name of it. Yeah, that's how it was for me. Like, it's been in my head for 25 years, and the only reason I remember it at all, I didn't even know Detention was the name of the show. I just remember the theme song. Detention, running in the halls now. All the voice actors are great. And it was actually a pretty funny show from what I remember. I don't know what it was about the late 90s and early 2000s. And even like most of the 90s, it's just like people were excited for what was coming around the corner. I don't fucking know. There's an animated movie I watched that falls into the category, and I'm more and more convinced that it was a dream. I confused with reality. Um, what animated movie? I'm curious now. Oh, and I also have some news, interesting news about Kingdom Hearts and Nomura that I can share in a little bit. Ugh. Or do you mean that you don't remember the title of it? Because you could just tell me what you remember of it, and we could try looking it up for fun. It was a CG animated movie where the MC had a split personality disorder and he goes into a VR bike race, and the movie's final act is inside his head, and there's a tank that looks like a Star Wars vehicle. Okay. That sounds familiar. Right off the top of my head, it sounds like Reboot. But that's a show. But that's what all that makes me think of. CG animated movie. Main character split personality disorder. You know what? Yeah, let's go to Google. Just throw in some keywords. See what it comes up with. Split fiction. What the fuck? That's it. All right. Why did Advent Children? Why did Advent Children show up here? What the fuck? Okay. I mean, the main character kind of does. Like, you are likely thinking of a critically acclaimed CGI film animated short film, Brain Divided. Is this it? Brain Divided? What?
Hi,
I don't
John?
think this is what you were talking about.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, are you kidding me? This is a kids movie, isn't it? I'm assuming it is. Josiah Hayworth. This is like a ripoff of Inside Out. That subpar Pixar movie. Yeah, let's see what the AI gives us. No. What was the era that you would say this movie was made in? Because that might help us narrow it down. Like, do you think it was like a 2000s movie? Or more recent? Scanner Darkly, Flight, Uncanny Valley. I don't think that's it. Best Friend? Goblins short film? Is it really addicted to virtual reality product? Device malfunctions. No. VR and bike connection. It follows a group of VR junkies living in a slum who spend their entire lives connected to headsets, acting out violent impulses in a combat simulation game. Oh, this might be it, actually. It heavily features gritty, tech-laden, futuristic aesthetic choices, including high-speed vehicle sequences. Well, this is a mid-2010s. Main character suffers from a massive psychological split when he discovers that his... Let's look this up. This seems promising. Uncanny Valley. Holy shit! Oh, I don't like looking at that. I don't like looking at all this. It's like AI before AI came out. This is gonna give me fucking nightmares right here. I do not like this. I fucking hate this, whatever this is. I had to see that. What the fuck is that? Let's be more specific here. Just copy that wholesale. That was a lot of cursed imagery I never needed to see. It's like seeing anything with trypophobia involved. This looks like action. Okay. It's
17
like
hours of combat a day, 100 kills.
it's like a little bit of both.
8, 10 deaths, 5 senses support, 360 degrees immersion, enhanced pain. I wake up, check on my rankings, and go straight to the battlefield.
My life offline is simple.
This seems like it's trying to be District 9 mixed with The Gamer. I don't know if you've ever seen either of those. Probably District 9, because that was pretty popular. But The Gamer was a really stupid movie with Gerard Butler in the early 2010s. And it was when the Call of Duty craze just picked up. They made it to where some kid was controlling Gerard Butler, who was a okay, you know about the gamer? Okay. Yeah, that movie is interesting. Whereas like some dipshit esports they predicted the future, but some dipshit esports player is taking control of Gerard Butler, who is a prisoner, but it's also an American movie, so he's got to be a sympathetic prisoner who was not actually there because he did anything bad. No, it was all a setup. I haven't thought about the gamer in a while. I don't think this is the movie we're looking for, though. Let's fast forward and see if there's any CG.
There's another stampede coming. Roger that.
What the hell? It looks pretty generic. Let's see, the bike connection. The core plot revolves around a young hover bike champion who is imprisoned in a luxury high-rise apartment. Split. The heavily utilizes memory manipulation technology and virtual protection, where the line between protagonist's actual memories and the altered virtual space. I don't know. That seems. I mean, it's pretty recent, and that kind of feels a little detached. Scanner darkly. Split persona. The protagonist is undercover narcotics cop who becomes addicted to a reality-altering drug. A reality-altering drug. It decays his brain until he develops two distinct, compelling personalities, eventually task of spying on himself. This sounds like Tech War. William Shatner's Tech War. I don't think that's it. I'll search it up. Why not? The hell is this Grand Theft Auto looking shit? What is this? Is that Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves, Robert Downey Jr. What the fuck? I just have to watch this out of curiosity now. What the hell? I've never heard of this. It looks like Grand Theft Auto 3.
It may just be my imagination. Whatever it is that's watching, it's not human.
Gentlemen, you are about to witness for approximately 61 cents the perfect homemade silencer.
That sure is some silencer.
Just drive over to my place, kick back, get some tequila.
They're in my hair, on my skin. They're all over the place.
I don't know what to think of this film.
This is
They just rotoscoped over, like, they just acted like a normal movie and then rotoscoped, probably just putting 3D models over them and then tracing over the 3D models to get this effect.
a world getting progressively worse. Can we not agree on that? What's on the dessert menu?
Damage has taken place to the normally dominant left.
How did I never hear of this movie with Keanu Reeves and Robert Downey Jr.? I know this was before Iron Man in 2008 with Robert Downey Jr., but Keanu Reeves, this is like just after the third Matrix movie.
Hemisphere, and the right hemisphere is attempting to compensate.
Two hemispheres of my brain are competing.
Yes.
Of my brain.
I could be murdered. I could be
Yeah, just shots like that where it just clearly that they just rotoscoped over it. It's like a really lazy artistic choice.
How'd I get here?
I tip my hat to any entity that could bring so much integrity to evil.
What if they come in through the back door or the bathroom window like that infamous Beatles song?
Just sacrifice someone without them ever knowing it.
What does the scanner see?
Whoa, wait, Winona Ryder? What the fuck is this movie? I'm adding this to the watch later because this is fascinating. This has like 2 out of 3 of my all-time favorite actors in it. I would say top like 10. And like I've never heard of it, and it's based on a video game in its mid 2000s.
Into the heart.
Wait, who wrote it? Richard Linklater. Did he? Is that a ghostwriter kind of name? Like Linklater? Like, oh, you'll get my last name from the link later or something? He's just trying to do some funny plays here with his writer name.
Does it see into me? Clearly.
Okay, that's a clever use of this, what they're doing now. I see.
Or darkly?
Scanner darkly.
Just awe-inspiring stuff.
They keep showing Robert Downey Jr. I think he's in that one scene. I just... Richard Stewart Linklater. What kind of last name is Linklater? Did he legally change it to that then? Because that is just weirdly convenient for a movie that is like centered around like technology. I just can't help but draw the parallels. And who the fuck would name their kid Linklater back in like probably the 70s or 80s? Linklater? Or who'd have the last name? I gotta look into that. Also, they just straight up have the whole movie. Oh, it's officially what? It's officially through YouTube? Dude, I'm tempted to turn off YouTube and just watch this movie tonight. His dad's last name is Linklater as well. That is just, I mean, what are the odds of that? Linklater. I wonder if there's some kind of, there's got to be something it's derivative of from a long time ago, right? Some other connotation or understanding that I don't have, because it just sounds like some kind of some funny wordplay for a tech geek. Linklater. How was this shown visually? Did the character have 2 physical forms, face an evil alter ego inside a digital space, or switch back to forth in the mirror? Was it a futuristic cyberpunk motorcycle like Akira or Akira isn't cyberpunk? The fuck? Or was it someone's physical setting on a VR exercise bike in a room while their mind was somewhere else? What? Was this a full-length feature film, a shorter cinematic trailer for a video game, or a 3D? Was it a hyper-realistic 3D? Yeah, are you able to like provide any of these? Because I'm curious to track down your movie. I'm also like debating just watching this tonight. and testing out the theater. And that, I don't know. I don't feel like getting pissed off at Kingdom Hearts right now. Trying to rack my brain. I can't think of anything. Then again, I'm also someone who vehemently disliked CG movies for a long, long time. Because they were replacing traditional animation, and they end up doing that. But now that the dust has settled, it's better than AI in live action, in my opinion. Well, most live action, because I mean, most live actions have CG now, anyway. Anyway, but yeah, are you able to answer any of these questions? Like, split personality. How was this shown? Did the character have two physical forms, or whatever, or did he fight himself in the digital space, or switch back in a mirror, or what kind of bike did he have? I'm pretty sure it's a full feature length film, so we can narrow that down. And was there like any was it all completely CG, or was there some bits of live action in there? Because I'm really curious. I love finding stuff like this. And if anything, diving into whatever this movie is, if you can remember any of it, um, I did find the scanned Dorkly, whatever this is, the scanner Darkly. Anything come to mind? I'll at least search this because it'll narrow it down. It is definitely not Gantz, but Gantz is pretty awesome. It is definitely not Final Fantasy VII, and I know it's not Paprika. Wow, this really missed the mark. Oh, I'm assuming it's full CG. You found it. Dot Hack the movie? Wow, this AI sucks ass. Dude. Okay, well, let's see what it is. I'm very curious. It's one of those kind of movies, huh? Oh, Cats Don't Dance. Oh man, I have not seen this movie for almost 30 years. I love this movie. Animatrix was good too. I like Bruce Almighty. The Nutty Professor? Hold the fucking phone. Hold on. Because the 1996 one stars Eddie Murphy, and it's about him and his overweight family, and he plays all of his family. Huh? Okay, let's add the 2008. Huh? I... All right. Well, let's.
I cried into a girl I met on Tinder's lap in the laundry room.
Wait, is this like straight up the movie? I hate the fact that people can put classic next to 2008 and it's true. I just want to see a clip.
I cried into a girl I met on Tinder's lap in the laundry room.
Huh?
Did you leave your engine running upstairs?
That wasn't my soundboard, by the way. Someone just edited that into the movie. You remember this little nerdy kid? Well, this being a little blonde guy? Huh. Maybe it's a tie. It's not bad CG animation, but the models look kind of rough. At least all the NPCs.
Hey, we should skip the next class and head out of here.
Grandpa?
Okay, let's take this baby to the moon.
What's with that face, dog?
Grandpa? Grandpa?
Well, Chris, I'm glad we went on this adventure together to find this strange, obscure, late 2000s CG movie. Honestly, I love finding things like this.
Are you okay?
Fine, just a minor abrasion. Great to see you, kiddo. Howdy, Robin. How's that engine of yours coming along?
Well, it exploded this morning and demolished my bedroom.
Fantastic news, young kelp. With so many failures, success is just around the corner or up your street.
I sure hope so. Well, I better go find my dorm room.
Well, see you in class, Harold, and remember, if at first you don't succeed... Oh, look here.
Huh. His grandpa scares me. What? Oh, I see. I remember seeing that fucker. I wonder what this aired on. I think I've seen this on TV somewhere. I will give it the animation is smooth. The character designs are not terrible. The world's believable. It does have very flat textures, like very smooth character models. A lot like Toy Story, but that Toy Story was like 15 years before this.
Oh, great. Excuse me?
There's no excuse for you. Yeah, no excuse. Ever had an atomic wedgie before, nerd?
I know that voice actor. What do I know him from?
Yeah, wedgie. Don't worry about them, Harold. They're all bark and no bite. Come on, let's go grab our table. The Fat Man and the Wonder Frog. I should have known. So what do you call him? Super nerd? Nerd?
Oh, come on, you guys. He's like 95 pounds. I think our table number's up.
Want a shot at the title, Rhino Rump? What's that? Biggest meathead in the world? Pretty sure you got that one locked up, Brad. I'll see
There's no way that's Yuri Lowenthal.
you losers in class! Class!
The fat guy.
Don't let him get to you, Harold. Couple of lame-os.
Hi, guys. Can I take your order?
3 diet sodas, please.
Said he wants one with no ice.
What's with Ned?
Still trying to figure that one out. I think his home planet was invaded, and he barely made it out alive. Look out, Ned!
I know how he feels.
What? Your hometown was invaded?
I would be pissed if someone squirt that shit on me. What the hell did he just do? Was that hot sauce?
By aliens, too?
Not exactly, but I was kind of run out of town.
Yeah, you definitely know how to make an entrance.
Well, from now on, things are gonna be different. I didn't know I could jump that high. Excuse me?
What a strange movie. You know, okay, here's the experience I had that was similar to this. There was a show in mid 2000s on Disney DX or whatever it was called Oban Star Racers. It eventually came to like Cartoon Network, but I couldn't like afford. My family couldn't afford those channels, so I would watch them when I was at friends' houses and stuff. But Oban Star Racer, I didn't remember until like 10 years later, and I'm like, wasn't that just Code Lyoko I'm thinking of? But it wasn't CG. And then all of a sudden I find it, and it's actually a really good show. It's a French anime, which was kind of popular at the time. I mean, Totally Spies is a French anime. Oban Star Racers is a French anime. Code Lyoko is a French CG anime. There's a lot of them at the time. That's when like the anime started to like blow up outside of Japan because of Dragon Ball and all that. I love that I could just skip forward in some random fucking spot in this movie and something weird or crazy is going on.
We need to talk about last night.
Was it everything I imagined? Was I charming?
Whatever. That mook totally ruined our show.
No, he didn't. He totally spiced it up. Yeah, spiced it up.
I'll spice you up. Took me an hour to get that stuff out of my hair. How can you
I think that fat guy's Yuri Lowenthal.
guys even hang out with him? He's such a loser.
You're the loser. Jack is extreme.
An extreme jerk.
Whatever, man. Whatever. I didn't know I was such a jerk.
Oh yeah, you said split personality, so he probably made some kind of invention or whatever that gives him a stronger ego. Or actually probably suppresses his ego and gives into his id.
Hey.
How's it going?
I can't get this engine back together.
Here, let me help.
Thanks.
Sure. Are you okay?
What's that about?
Actually, I had the worst date ever last night. I thought I met someone different, but he's just like one of them.
Why don't you just repeat Brad one more time?
I'm choking on mystery meat.
I'm telling you, man. I've had enough of your jibber jabber.
See what I mean? They're fun to hang out with, but I'd never date them. I guess I'm just getting tired of it. I just can't seem to meet anyone that's interesting.
Yeah, I've had just about enough of those guys. I'm starting to run out of underwear.
Take you down. Okay, that's it. You want something to choke on, Brad? I'll give you something to choke on.
What the hell? They rolled up into a Sonic the Hedgehog ball.
Come on, let's get out of here.
You mean cut class?
How do you like me now, Brad?
Me? Ow! Ow! My butt!
Uh-oh.
For a kiss, all right. Stay calm, stay calm. I'll get you through this.
Nope.
Get him. Yeah, get me. What about you, Brad? Bring it on, you ape. We don't have time right now, nerd, but we'll see you on the track. Yeah, the track. Yeah, can't wait. Looking forward to it.
What happened to you last night?
I got called away to this emergency science thing.
Harold, are you okay to race?
Race? Oh, me? Yeah, totally. I'm fine. See you out there.
Wait, she's wearing those freaking studded belts. This was a really popular style when I was in high school for normies. But they would wear wristbands and those studded belts. And then the emo kids started doing that, but they would wear more studded belts. I thought it was so lame.
Check it out. The Blue Lightning rides again.
Wow.
Okay, now I just have to look. Hold on. How did what? In 2008 animated film The Nutty Professor, Yuri Lowenthal did not act as a voice performer. Instead, he utilized his vocal talents behind the scenes as the film's dialogue director. Dialogue director? Huh? How? What are the chances? Peter Parker and Spider-Man, Ben Tennyson. Oh, I didn't know he was Ben Tennyson in Alien Force. I never watched Ben 10. I heard it was good. It kind of looked like Teen Titans. I could have sworn he was the fat guy. Damn, he's old now. I mean, you can hear it when he plays the new Spider-Man, but This is the voice of Sasuke. Huh. Oh, right, he was an avatar voice in Xenoblade Chronicles X. In fact, that's my character's voice. Avowed, I'm sorry. Wait, he's in 1,000 Year Blood War? Kiego Asano? Who the fuck is... I don't know. I gotta... As soon as the Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War is over, I'm definitely gonna catch up on it. I heard that they're gonna be rewriting the Bleach manga's ending, which was fucking horrible. What I am... Whoa, reload? Ichiro Takaba. Okay, so there's a reason to play Persona now. Persona 3 Reload, I mean. Holy shit, this guy's been in everything. Holy fuck! Oh, Jesus Christ, look at this. Saros too, what? Shogun? Oh my god, I didn't recognize him at the time. I fucking love Saint Rose too. He's Shogo? Really? Incredible. Wait. Huh. This motherfucker's been voice acting since the 2000s, since the 90s. What? Really? Here in Greenwood, 1991? What? This guy's been voice acting for nearly 40 fucking years. He was Alucard. Bruh. No fucking way. He was Haru Glory and Rave Master. I could not fucking tell you. Oh my god. Yeah, he does. Yeah. Let's see. If I scroll up to like 2006, it should show it. No, wait. I think it was 2008 that the Cydia first came out. Sorry, I'm a huge fucking nerd and I like looking up stuff like this. Wait, he was in Persona 3, the original? Persona 3 face protagonist? He was the protagonist? That's right. I remember him shouting Thanatos and then doing the summon. Pharos and Ryoji. Don't remember who that is. Holy shit. Okay, man, I gotta replay Persona 3, the original. Let's see, 2007. Oh, P4. I never played P4. The only Persona game I've ever played is 3, like enjoyed at least. I played 3 and 5, but I only liked 3. Oh, that's right. He did voice the main character of Star Ocean 1 for the re-release. Oh yeah, they had him voice it in the PSP version of Final Fantasy IV for Cecil. Blue Dragon? Eshu? He's the main character? Wait, oh, is that the anime? Oh, yeah. Ugh, I'm sorry. I'm not surprised. Oh, hey, just as you were saying, Yosuke Hanamura. Soul Calibur 4? Algol's son? Oh man, the X-Men Evolution, the early 2000s X-Men show was so good. Man, I watched that again last year for the first time in 20 years, and like, it holds up really well. It's still like the best X-Men thing. With the first two live action movies with Hugh Jackman. Prinny, can I really be the hero? Oh my god, I forgot that existed. There we go. Dissidia, Final Fantasy 2008, Cecil Harvey. So he was Cecil in both versions, which makes sense. So he was cast before, and then just given the role again because Square Enix used to like consistency with voice actors reprising their roles in other media, but oh well, I guess. Afro Samurai. Oh right, he was a voice in Watchmen too. This guy has really been fucking everywhere. Dragon Ball Evolution Goku? That's live action. Huh? What? Huh? Voice for what? Oh, the video game for PSP. Fuck this goddamn movie, but I'm sorry. The main character of the live action movie did not fucking deserve. Oh, hold on. Why did they just get the cash for the regular Dragon Ball Z to reprise their roles? Why did they get fucking Kirk Thornton for Gohan and fucking Clam Clark for Piccolo? What the fuck? Sorry, anyway. Man, this movie is a big pile of fucking garbage. The guy who made it didn't give a shit about it. Sykes? Who's Sykes? Clam Clark? I don't know Sykes' voice actor's name off the top of my head. Travis Willingham? Kirk Thornton. Oh, okay. Man, I could honestly just go through these guys like IMDb page for ever. Is that Odette? Is this a CG remake of fucking Swan Princess? What the fuck? Anyway. Oh, fuck. I lost my place. I can't believe I forgot Xenoblade Chronicles X came out last year, and I got hyped for it so much in 2004 that they were re-releasing it with new content that I went through and played the other three Xenoblade games for the first time. And I was only half disappointed, or I guess a third, because the second Xenoblade is the Goon Bait game. Oh yeah, he does voice Johnny in Rebirth. We're definitely gonna play Dirge of Cerberus on stream. So we'll see Yuri Lowenthal that more. Vincent's original voice actor, I love the guy who's his new voice actor in Rebirth and Revelation, Matt Mercer. Matt Mercer is a fucking legend, but his original voice actor is also a legend. And I think his voice matches Vincent better. Oh, this is what I hate with my brain. Like, I'll be like looking at all this other shit for so long and think about so much random shit that I'll forget important information like that voice actor's name, and I love him. Uh, let's see. Um, Steve Bloom. I can't. I even had it. Interview. Acting class or whatever. I forgot what it fucking was. Honestly, with Steve Bloom, he has like voice acting classes, and I joined one of them, and I had a 1-to-1 talk with him. That was a long time ago. Yeah, it's Steve Bloom. We're gonna add this to watch later, just because I want to. Steve Bloom, Vincent Valentine. Oh, perfect! This is exactly what I was wanting. I mean, okay. Reunion.
Don't take all the blame. Breathe. Huh? You're not thinking of giving up, are you? I used to be nothing but a stone in the river of time. But 3 years ago, it was you and the others who taught me I had to move ahead. I can't answer for your sister.
He's got one of the cool... Steve Bloom, Christopher Sabat, and Keith David have like the most iconic, most badass voices of all time.
But when a person has someone they care about that much, giving their life is sometimes the least they can do. And maybe that's what makes us human. Although
I love how PS1 and 2
there are a lot of
Square
people
Enix games look.
around me who don't need a reason to risk their lives for that of another. You heard what Sid said. Your job is to live. If you come with me, chances are you'll all die.
Vincent Valentine. I'm... security.
I don't know how I feel about this new Vincent yet. I'll have to see in Revelations, but the Vincent that we got in Advent Children and Dirge of Cerberus was more withheld, less goofy, and Steve Bloom's performance really matched that character with the tone of his voice, his natural tone of his voice, and how he acted. It was like a perfect fit. And I like that more pulled back performance where it's more realistic. Whereas a lot of the voice acting in Rebirth and Remake has been theatrical in nature. It sounds like someone's reading a script instead of like people trying to act like they're not acting. I love English voice actors when they just act like people. I feel every game with voice acting I played, at least 40% have Matthew Mercer in it. Dude is everywhere. Yeah, he is. I replayed, I think it was 2 years ago, I replayed, wow, it must have been after I played Rebirth, but I replayed Star Ocean, The Last Hope, a 2008 game, and it's one of his first acting roles. He was the main character, Edge Maverick, and I had no idea. He doesn't sound anything like Matt Mercer, but it was Matt Mercer. And ever since then, he's just been in like everything. He's like Yuri Lowenthal.
Why are you here? Be brief, though you're clearly not.
This Vincent is a little bit more comedic, a little more like goofy, even though he's got the much more anime style hair that Nomura likes to draw. Like it's weird. As Nomura gets older, he draws like spikier hair to make his characters look a little younger, I think. It's kind of weird. I loved how he looked in Dirge of Cerberus and Advent Children.
Murasaki, explain yourself. Then I've one more sin to atone for. The room is unlocked. Use it as you see fit, Mr. Murasaki. I don't recall giving you permission to go in there. The Grand Metropolis, where the ancients once gathered to pray, thought lost to time.
Oh, that's one of my favorite songs in 7. They did such a good job in Rebirth. I will say the dialogue is fucking garbage in Dirge of Cerberus. Yeah, like I like this because it looks more like his original Final Fantasy VII design, where he just had normal hair, but it was really messy and poking through the headband. But in Dirge of Cerberus, they added these flourishes to his hair, which is something Nomura really loves to do. Not with hair specifically, but this pattern. And he just made his hair that pattern.
I can't answer for your sister.
Let's see. Yeah, it's like and then half circle, half circle.
And maybe that's what makes us.
And then the new one is anime. It looks, in my opinion, it looks so much less interesting than the PS2 version. I don't know what your opinion is on that, but to me, it's less interesting. It's just like, oh, I don't want my characters to be perceived as old because I don't want to be perceived as old kind of feel. I'll show another voice actor. I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. Oh my god. He's been in a lot of stupid shit recently, like Rick and Morty. But he voiced this character in Mass Effect. He voiced Spawn at one point, Goliath and Gargoyles, a Disney character villain. Oh yeah, he was also one of the Saint Rose as well. He's also Chaos in Dissidia. Oh, there he is, right there. Why don't we just look up that Keith David Chaos?
Do not atone, just perish. You dare to oppose me? This world is an everlasting nightmare.
I just love in Dissidia how every character has a unique intro for every other character.
A world of nothingness needs no king.
Did the hardest you did Chaos fight in Dissidia. Hardest part was the camera. It sure was. It sure was. Did you fight Feral Chaos yet?
Little fool, you're shivering.
Okay, there's that one's gonna be even more of a headache.
Drown in discord, deeper than darkness. The light fades, and the darkness perishes. A treacherous blade will bring an end. Your lust for the light is meaningless. Hope is lost with your pursuit of it. To the rift with you! The ultimate void stands before you. You do not need power, for I am power. I will destroy you as you desire. Your volition cannot overcome discord. Let us see if your promise comes to pass. Kneel before me if you seek comfort. Solitude is but despair in disguise.
Thanks for the free therapy.
You cannot escape death, but with your soul. Do you truly understand eternal solitude? The final curtain requires no audience. Dance to the requiem for all eternity. Dreams fade into nothingness. Celebrate destruction with your dance for the departed.
Okay, that's a good one.
All of your options are now gone. Wish not for life, but seek death. I shall destroy this world myself. True freedom lies only in death.
That's something annoying about Vaughn. He's basically just a watered down butt.
Perish along with your destiny of defiance. I shall set despair. Pathetic pawn.
I have no idea why they made Chaos, Pharaoh Chaos playable. Oh, hold on. Never seen the show, but I've always wanted to. Regular show.
The cops can't catch this! Later, you bourgeois sucker! Oh, man!
Waller has leverage on me. We need a counter.
I thought that was gonna be Keith David. What the fuck? That's why I was interested. Man, I'm so distracted. Again, I don't even know what we're really gonna be doing here. Those are cool movies, at least. Oh, right. There's some interesting news with Nomura. I'll play this real quick. So a lot of interviews have been coming out recently. And there's a Japanese interview with Famitsu. You know what? Maybe I'll just pull it up instead of just talking about it. Nope. Is this it? What? No, this is like from a billion years ago. I guess they still don't have an official translation of the Famitsu article. Okay, so basically, Nomura was talking about Kingdom Hearts 4 and a bunch of stuff for Rebirth and everything. Well, a little bit about Rebirth, mostly Kingdom Hearts. And he said some interesting things. Basically saying his life work is Kingdom Hearts. But what he wants to do and what's expected of him are two different things. And when he's done with Kingdom Hearts and doing what's expected of him, when his baggage, he literally said, when my baggage, when I can let go of this baggage, I plan to tackle new challenges with people who have left Square. It's basically alluding to maybe his retirement he's been talking about isn't retirement from video games, but retirement from Square Enix. And this has had my brain racked all day. It's the only thing that's been keeping me sane. But maybe he's talking about, because this could mean a couple things, right? Maybe he's talking about, I'm going to retire from Square Enix and finally pursue the things I want to do instead of being beholden to what is expected of me. Because it seems like he is pretty tired of making Kingdom Hearts. He can't make the games he wants to make. When it comes for his game to be made, he kind of gets snubbed and then turn around and go to Naoki Yoshida. They turn to Yoshi P and say, like, hey, you could do whatever you want with Final Fantasy. which I think Nomura deserves his own Final Fantasy, mainline Final Fantasy. But they never gave that to him. They fought him for the longest time, and instead they gave it to Naoki Yoshida. And that's because Yoshi P, he's a businessman before anything else. He literally said, we need to mimic, for Final Fantasy 16, we need to mimic Game of Thrones as much as possible. He made his team watch Game of Thrones. There was no artistic ambition with this game. He wanted to make it as frictionless as possible. He wanted everybody to get into it. He wanted to copy something that was popular. Because Game of Thrones is like the most popular TV show ever. So I would be pissed if I was Nomura as well, especially since Nomura has been there since 94. Or wait, no, not even 94, since 90. Because Final Fantasy V came out in 91. Final Fantasy IV, I think, came out in 90. Maybe even 89 in Japan. So he's been with them since the 80s/90s. He's created... Wait, 92? Hold on, let me think. The original on Famicom was 90 or 86. And then 2 I think was 87. And then 3 I think was 88 or 89, probably 88. So 4 has to be around that time frame because I think Final Fantasy V came out in 91, if I'm not mistaken, or 92. Here, I'll just look it up instead of sounding like a frickin' moron. Let's see. When was Final Fantasy V released in Japan? No, not Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy V. What the fuck? When was Final Fantasy V? Hey! You got it right, man. 92. My timeline's all fucked up. So it must have been 2 years between each game, so like 86 for 1, 88 for 2... 90 for 3. How the fuck did they make 4 right after that so quickly and then that, like, within the year span? Maybe they were working on other projects, but this is when they started focusing on Final Fantasy, because after 4, Final Fantasy really started to pick up momentum and popularity. Let me look at something real quick. Damn. So, Tetsuya Nomura has been with the company since Final Fantasy IV. Final Fantasy IV in Japan released July 19th, 1991. Literally 5 days ago? At least for a hard date that we can look at. He's been with the company for almost the exact amount for 35 years. Literally a 2 months before... Oh, sorry, no. Man, see, this is why I'm fucking tired. I shouldn't be thinking too much. Next month on the 19th, next month, it'll have been 35 years since he joined as a hard date, but it's obviously he joined a little bit before that. He was on the tail end of 4, but he joined during 4's development as a coder. He wanted to be a manga artist, And so he's like, I'm gonna pick up this job while I try to make it in with manga, because he just accepted a job listing for Final Fantasy, coding with Final Fantasy or whatever. I think he was a fan of one of the games, but then it just kind of evolved into him becoming a character artist. Also he wanted to join because he wanted to meet Amano, because Amano was a manga artist for Vampire Hunter D and stuff. The guy who does Final Fantasy 1 through 5/6 art. Anyway, yeah, Yoshi, or what's his fucking name? Tetsuya Nomura has been with the company for a little bit longer than I've been alive. That is crazy to think about. Wow. His career started when I was born. I believe that's also around the same time that Sonic the Hedgehog first came out too. And anyway, back to what I was saying. So he made he's been with the company for 35 years at least, and he's provided a lot of the most iconic parts of Final Fantasy. Like Gilgamesh keeps appearing in subsequent games, and now he's a mainstay in all of them. He helped shape Final Fantasy V in a little bit. He also came up with the most compelling character designs and also characters for Final Fantasy VI. He created Shadow and Setzer. I don't think he wrote Shadow's story, because Shadow's got the best story in the game. He's the only character in 6 that I like. He's also optional and can die. Like, actually die in the game, and you can't have him in there anymore. But then he created some of the most iconic video game characters of all time with Final Fantasy VII. And then again with 10, I would say with 8, but a lot of people disagree. I think 8 has some of the most fantastic designs ever. But then he did it again with 10 and created one, helped create and shape one of those legendary RPGs. And then Kingdom Hearts, which it is what it is, you know. And he's literally been holding up the company until Yoshi P took over. And honestly, if it wasn't Matsuno, the guy who made Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Ogre, who Sakaguchi talent scouted to take over the Final Fantasy IP for him, if it wasn't for that, I think Nomura would be like the runner-up for the person to take that position. And ever since Sakaguchi left, he's been holding up the company for the longest time. But when it finally came time for his project to come to fruition, after all the character designs he's done and everything, they stuffed him time and time again, and then took his project and turned it into something else. And then and then they even took his team to work on Yoshi P's redesign of 14 of his game. And then Yoshi P makes 14 and it blows up to become like half of their fucking yearly revenue. And then just like, here, you could just make Final Fantasy 16. We don't care. This was a comeback story. You're our golden goose. All the old guard have failed us. You were successful with Dragon Quest X and Final Fantasy 14, massively successful 14. So you just have free reigns to do this. And then Yoshi P, I've noticed he kind of trash talks a lot of things about Nomura, and then he also is very much against Nomura's like design or ideas, I should say. I used to really like Yoshi P, but man, these last couple of years really showed me another side of that guy. But yeah, I would be pissed. And to go back to my first point, you know, professional yapper, even though I'm like almost 24 hours no sleep so far. So he said he what he wants to do and what's expected of him are two different things, and he's gonna go work with people who've left the company. Now that's a long list of people, because there's been so many people that have left Square Enix, especially in its golden era, that left to make their own massively successful games or series. Which is kind of funny, because the composer for Secret of Mana, or the Mana series, left to make a game called Kudelka, then left that, and his studio was absorbed with the people who made Legend of Dragoon, then they made Shadow Hearts, and then the people who made Shadow Hearts developed Lost Odyssey, which was a Sakaguchi game, but away from Square Enix. So it's just kind of like full circle, where you got like another team of like Final Fantasy people to make his game. Kind of crazy how that works. Sorry, my brain is just everywhere, man. But yeah, the list of people who've left it is massive, and people who he's close to. I've run it down from what I know about Nomura myself to possibilities, but I think he's gonna retire from Square Enix because he's done with their shit and he wants to make his own games before he retires. And so those people could be, he's gonna go leave and join Mistwalker to be under the wing of Sakaguchi again, because when I like Nojima, I like Kitase, I like Nomura a lot. I feel like these people and most of Square was like at their peak and did their best when they were reined in by Sakaguchi to put them together and then draw out the best of them. Because Nomura's like 9 out of 10 skill, but he's like, his ambition holds him back sometimes. Nojima has wonderful ideas, but his ambition holds him back sometimes. Like, all of them are super ambitious, and they needed to be reined in and have that energy focused. And so, like, I think being under Sakaguchi again, he could create some crazy stuff. But then again, Mistwalker isn't doing so hot. The majority of what they did in 2010s was... Actually, I think the only thing they did in 2010s was the last story on the Wii, and then a bunch of mobile games called Terra Battle, and then they did that Neo Fantasian game or whatever, but that was a flopperooski because its initial release was tepid, to say the least, since it was locked to Apple products. And then by the time they brought it out of the Apple Store and put it on PlayStation, it was great. Problem with that is they released it at a way too high a price. So Mistwalker's not doing so hot. So I don't think it would be Sakaguchi, as much as I think that would be awesome. In fact, I just wish Sakaguchi returned to Square and made some more games with him before he retired. Then there's the prospect of working with Tetsuya Takahashi, the creator of the Xeno series, who left after Xenogears in '98. Because Tetsuya Takahashi and Nomura are close, they're good friends, but Takahashi was Nomura's supervisor, his teacher when he first joined Square Enix to learn how to code and how to work with the company and everything. And then in 2017, well, 2017 is when it got released, but probably more like 2015, maybe even earlier. No, Tetsuya Takahashi asked Nomura if he could do designs for Xenoblade 2, which we've talked about. And I feel like these guys are just like on the same wavelength with what they want to create. Nomura wants a competent team that can develop the games in a timely manner and fulfill its ambition, which the Xeno games are definitely full of ambition, and they can be made in a well-mannered time. And Tetsuya Takahashi wants a unique and competent art style that stands out, because he feels like the only reason why his games aren't bigger than they are is because of the art direction, which he's actually right. Whether they have the original artist for Xenogears, yeah, I love the Xenogears artist, but over time his designs got kind of wild and crazy and out there and kind of detached. It was kind of like uninteresting, some of the designs he would make. He also just didn't really make things that stood above the rest like Nomura did. And I feel like that guy was trying to copy Nomura a lot in philosophy for designing characters without understanding how. And then the other characters in Xenoblade 2 and 3, and now 4, or Genesis, whatever you want to call it, it just looks so generic and clean and like very corporate looking anime style. I'm not a fan of. And I think it's keeping it from getting to a wider audience like Kingdom Hearts and all that. So I think those two working together in a collaborative effort where they are, well, they want to make their dark, gritty, open world story, they could make it happen together. But there's some conflict there, and I don't know how that would work with him going to Nintendo if he wants to be under the umbrella of another big company. The third option is he might go work with Tabata, because him and Tabata were kind of close. They worked on the some compilation titles together and the Versus project, as Tabata was working on Final Fantasy XIII Agito, which was the PSP game that we now know as Type 0. He also took over the Versus project and helped push it to become 15. So they're basically on the same wavelength, and Tabata left to create his own company. I think they're called like CG Works or something. They haven't produced a game since he left almost 10 years ago now, so I don't know what the hell what's happening with that. He was talking up a storm about how he wants to integrate NFT. When that was a big craze, he wanted to integrate NFTs to his shit, and he's probably all for AI, so I don't know. I think he's just a businessman. I think he just wants the cashola. But him and Nomura are on the same wavelength creatively as well, in a different way than him and Takahashi are. The problem with that is there is some beef, I would feel, between them about what happened with 15, and how I think Tabata made kind of callous corporate decisions and pushed Nomura out of his dream project for no fucking reason. And again, nothing has been made into fruition since then, even though he got a pretty big backings when he left because of the work he did with Final Fantasy 15. 15 being one of the most sold Final Fantasies. I mean, let me look it up right now, actually. Okay, so it's not number one, but Final Fantasy VII's number one with 15.5 million units. And technically, Final Fantasy X has 20 million, but that's a combination of the re-release with 10 and 10.2 combined. I know for a fact that 15 sold like 11 million copies. It was massively successful. So yeah, because of that, Tabata kind of got not a golden parachute, but he was able to start stronger than most people who leave and have to do like Kickstarters and shit, like with the guy who made Symphony of the Night, who was the original Castlevania developer, or like the Mega Man guy, or like any. It's so crazy that all the people who made the most legendary video games of all time all left their respective companies and just made the same game under their own studio umbrella. Some of them worked better than others. Like, it's unfortunate what happened with Mighty Number 9. I'm sorry, I'm like so out of it. Nagoshi, isn't he the Yakuza? Oh, I opened my eyes and I see your chat. Yeah, Yakuza. Okay. Yeah. I kind of heard rumblings about that. The Sonic guy did that too, and then he made Balan Wonderland or whatever, then got arrested for yeah. We both know that story pretty well. But it's just crazy to think that all the Japanese developers who've made the most iconic video games of all time in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s have all left their studios and done better outside of them, honestly, for the most part. So that leaves me with those three options for who Nomura is talking about working with. There's also a fourth option here where he just becomes a freelance artist and just works with these people, kind of like how Yoko Shimomura or Nobuo Uematsu are just freelance composers who get hired to work on these projects. And so he can have more creative freedom. He could just do the cool creative art stuff he wants to do. But he seems like he really wants to make his own game. It really seems like he wants to make Virum Rex. And oh, I was vindicated too. I don't know if you remember, because this was like when you first started watching, and we were talking about 15 stuff a long time ago, in Versus 13. But I was saying the Ragnarok sword, the DLC Ragnarok sword in Final Fantasy 15, looked a hell of a lot like Yuzoro's weapon, and the Ragnarok weapon in 15 was Noctis's ultimate weapon that was patched in as a free DLC. Even though it was something you downloaded from the store and then you just got at the beginning of the game, but it made your warp strike thing like, I think it was like 3 times stronger or whatever. Like, the more distance away you were from someone with a warp strike, the more damage you did. You could get to like max numbers pretty early in the game. But yeah, he was, here, let me look it up. It also looks like a more refined gunblade, like a modern gunblade. Oh my god, I just wanted to look at the freaking picture. Oh, you sons of bitches. No! Double click like a dunce. But yeah, basically that. That is such a cool and sleek and very Nomura style weapon. It looks like a gunblade because of the handle, even though it's a hunting switchblade handle for like modern tactical knives. But what a cool concept for a weapon. That looks so fucking cool, man. And that's the ultimate weapon that you got just as DLC at the beginning of the fucking game. But it looks a lot like Yazora's sword. Why don't we just do this? I was watching Night Sky Prince and he on the stream I think yesterday. And yeah, he brought it up. I'm like, wow, I'm not crazy. What a cool render someone made. But yeah, when you look at them back to back, they are pretty fucking similar. Both beam swords, which makes me, and Night Sky Prince brought this up too, but it makes me think that this was a part of the original Versus game, and this was probably original Noctis's ultimate weapon. Something he would get later. Which is a huge fucking bummer too. Because in the base game, the ultimate weapon for Noctis, and I talked about this before, but I'll say it again. Noctis's ultimate weapon in the base game, when it first released, before any patches, was a golden version, and it was only the handle that was gold, but it was a golden version of his starter engine blade sword. That's it. Its special effect was that it absorbs magic from enemies, so you can do the magic crafting system, which is basically the Birth by Sleep magic system. Because, I mean, same people worked on, or helped with that game's combat. But yeah, woohoo. Magic was so ass in that game. Little grenade balls that you threw. But yeah, I was totally vindicated. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I promise I'm not crazy. I don't know which one I like better, because I like Yazora's sword. It's got the Nomura-esque like little rib looking things right here that he likes drawn. It still kind of looks like, I think Nomura loves Final Fantasy VIII, and he'll just never admit it because it wasn't the most popular one. But he really put a lot into those designs. Because like every weapon he designs has some kind of gun part attached to it. He also plays a lot of shooters, so maybe that's it. But like, man, this sword looks cool. You know about Backlogged? Backlogged? Sounds familiar. Not off the top of my head, if I'm being honest. I'm tired as sin, brother. Oh, there is one thing. Something kind of crazy happened recently with True Blade Seeker. Dude looked into what he was making a motherfucker.
Yozora, the boy who will be a key to Link to.
He went and made a super boss mod for Yozora to make him even more of a super boss. and found some interesting things that tie into verses and not huge things, but he found out how to solve. He's the first person to solve this, by the way, but he found out a way to solve Yazora's DM, which was where he like summons those freaking Gigas when he pulls up that like gravity ball thing. People would either summon D-Links or just fly around the arena and hope for the best. But this guy figured out how to freaking kill him. It's crazy. But yeah, what's backlogged? Review site. I go there once in a while to read reviews from games I like. I found a profile that made me think of you because it gave Xenogears as a 0.5 stars. Xenogears 0.5 stars? Are you fucking kidding me? All right. Whoever the fuck that is has no goddamn taste. I mean, I should be used to it. People have been hating on Xenogears for years because Disc 2 was unfinished. Yeah, go for it. I'll look it over. Yeah. Disc 2 of Xenogears is unfinished, and they had to like do plot summaries of most of the shit that happened with the story in the plot chair. And that's not because of their fault. I mean, they were an inexperienced team. Well, an experienced developer, Tetsuya Takahashi and his wife, and the other writer they had, were given a team of newcomers to make this game while working with 3D for the first time. All of them. If they had a little bit more time to cook, like one more year, they could have probably finished the rest of the story, but no, it has to be done in 2 years, and you don't get a sequel or anything unless you hit the 1 million mark. Uh-oh, you were short of the million mark by like 13,000. Ignore the 987,000. Oh, you don't get to make Xenogears 2. Haha. Got it. Square Enix's upper management is so stupid, man. Oh, I'm definitely gonna we're definitely gonna watch Final Fantasy Spirits Within on stream at some point too. I just gotta see what was the downfall. It was the start of the downfall because of this fucking movie. Your requested video could not be sent and the channel points have been refunded to you. The hell? Nightbot? Let's rock. Stop posting links. What? Well, I got your link, but what the fuck? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, I mean, this is a little bit surface level critique on my part here, but this guy just seems like a, what's the word I'm looking for? His name is Zidane is trash? That's the main character of Final Fantasy IX. What the fuck? Here, I gotta look up. My brain is so fucking farted right now, man. I gotta look up the word I'm looking trying to think of. Contrarian. There we go. This guy's just a fucking contrarian, it looks like, because, like, just reading some of his reviews, I already see. I mean, I don't know really about these two, but I know Mother 3 is a beloved RPG by many, 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 many people. So this tells me a couple things. Like, we're looking at this right here. Claire Obscure, 33, half. I've seen very few genuine critiques of Expedition 33. So because he's seen very few of them, in his eyes, it feels like he's just trying to balance it out and be a contrarian. But I'd have to delve more to really see if that's the case or not. I don't know off the top of my head. Oh, okay, these aren't too long. Okay, I'm gonna read this one because this one intrigues me, and then we're gonna go find that Xenogears one. So, because I want to see if this guy's just talking out of his ass. I've seen very few genuine critiques of Expedition 33. Even the best reviews tend to be somewhat shallow and more focused on the presentation. Worse yet, I've seen a lot of bad faith controversy surrounding the game. Claims that it stole its Game of the Year awards, accusations of AI usage, allegations of asset theft. Basically, I've seen everything except substantial criticism of the game itself. And I get it, it's a hard game to critique, at least without asking some rather fundamental questions about the game, the genre, and the art itself. Huh. Okay. Because, I mean, the AI usage is, the AI usage stuff popped up because they had some placeholders for like posters and shit to get the feel of the area down for some scenes that were left in the game, which were just placeholders, and they were swapped out for actual art that they did like the day of. So it's like they that was just, it wasn't a correction. Like, they didn't try to make AI and then put it into the game. They used AI to develop a scene so they could develop it faster as a small team, and then put the actual assets into the game. You got a 10-minute timeout? Sorry, just hard for me to read. Oh wait, is that you, Crisps? Oh, okay, okay. Why did it time you out? I didn't time you out, bud. Uh, I have something called Nightbot, which is supposed to be for music, the music thing that I was gonna set up, which I still got to read that whole fact on how to make it work. but it's supposed to be a music recommendation bot. I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm sorry that it gave you a 10-minute timeout. You didn't do anything wrong, man. I'll make sure that's fixed by the time that I stream next time, okay? I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, let me just read that again real quick. Yeah, because if you look over here, I just have like automated messages from Nightbot saying, stop posting links or whatever, warning. Oh no, if you missed it because you got timed out for 10 minutes, no, I started reading this guy's review. I'm going to finish reading this to see if there's anything of actual substance with this. I got to sit up though. My bed is like right next to my computer, so I turned to the side and been cocking my head to the left to ugh, to read and stuff because my leg is acting up since I haven't got any sleep. Let's see. Let's start with the gameplay. The game completely fails at it. First strike. The level design is incredibly, if not non-existent. The levels are basically corridors. There is no tension in moving from point A to point B. As simplistic as the puzzles and events in certain JRPGs and JRPG-inspired games might be, at least they are something. But here, you just run until you find a boss. They keep doing that until... I've only played like maybe 2 hours of this game, and I could tell you this is all a bunch of bullshit right here already. He doesn't actually tell you about the level design. These are the reviews I hate. He doesn't actually tell you about the level design and why they're bad. He just says they're bad. Oh, you have to run in a straight line before boss. The levels themselves are just areas to walk through like older Final Fantasies, to encounter random enemies, to engage with a combat system, and find some treasures here and there, with little mini games, like tiny little like puzzle mini games to kind of spice it up a little bit. And then you get to an open world segment, like old Final Fantasies, not open world, but like a world map segment where you get to run around and like actually like discover stuff like old Final Fantasies. This guy, that is completely disingenuous. Strike 2. The customization is lackluster. Unlike good RPGs, this game lacks classes. You only had 5 or 6 playable characters. Sure, each character has its own gimmick and a lot of skills, but the game's progression is so linear and the combat so binary for reasons I'll explain later, that in practice, you only unlock the skills that maximize damage or provide... Again, this is, just in 2 hours of playing this game, it feels like he saw someone else's review, or he's just being a contrarian. He's just a fucking shit poster, man. Because no, good RPGs don't have to have classes. You don't need classes in every RPG. Every character in that game, and I've unlocked 3 so far, have very distinct mechanics for each individual character. And they are so unique in how they perform in battle and what they need out of battle. Well, also, there's also like this little element to the game I really like, where enemies will have weak spots that you can use your ranged. Yeah, like okay, how do I explain this? So every turn you have a set amount of resources. It's not your MP in this game, but it's like a resource that you use for actions. I guess it is like an MP, now I think about it. because you could build up these. It's kind of like how Xenosaga combat works. So you don't have MP in this game. You have like action points, and then you can save those action points to build more action points for the next turn. Quite like Xenogears too. Xenogears and Saga. You could build those action points to use stronger moves if you use them sparingly or guard or whatever, or you could just bust them out immediately. You can also use them to do a ranged action where you can target an enemy's weak point, and like there'll be enemies with like a little orb on their head. You blow that up, they could send a shockwave through and like damage the enemies around them, or it'll open them up for stronger attacks by just destroying their defense or something. All the bosses are like this. And then the combat is so interesting because of the button inputs you got to do, because you actually have to do time jumps like those Mario games, those Mario RPGs. You can dodge individually with characters. This is just this is just completely disingenuous. I'm debating reading the rest of this. And finally, the combat mechanics are fundamentally incompatible with one another. It's a turn-based game, yet it incorporates parrying, dodging, and jumping. You can't have those in a turn-based game. Have you never played some classic JRPGs like Legend of Dragoon, Shadow Hearts, the Mario RPG games like Paper Mario and stuff? They're not exclusive just because this guy just like sitting on his ass and hitting the attack button and getting stat ups. Combat in action games involving frequent dodging or parrying has already become repetitive and tedious because they're action games. That's kind of what you do. But there's a reason those mechanics exist. Action games rely on an inherent risk-reward dynamic. I wouldn't say risk-reward. No. There's no risk to you putting in freaking button prompts. There's no risk-reward for dodging. You need to learn how to dodge and parry to fucking live in these games. It's not a risk-reward. It's an essential core to the combat. It's not like you're gambling if this hit is gonna. It's like a really skillful thing to do, but it's gonna do a shit ton of damage, or you could whiff it. Anyway, since attacks happen in real time, there's a risk involved in attacking. Do you overcommit before the enemy counters, or do you play it safe and keep your distance until you spot an opening? That's not to mention the spatial awareness. This is like an endorsement for the game right here. This just makes the game sound so much more interesting. That's not to mention that the spatial awareness required to avoid making silly mistakes. In Expedition 33, all the tension is lost. There is no strategy involved, only muscle memory. Games that rely heavily on parrying are often criticized for being glorified rhythm games. A claim I usually find exaggerated, but with Expedition 33, it is absolutely the case. And I repeat, this game is binary in its learning curve and dynamics. It rewards parrying so much and punishes you so hard for not doing it that you are either a god. Oh, I love this when people say you have to be a god to play this game, and they downplay how bad they are at the game itself. They're not the problem. The game's the problem. Oh, I love that. You're either a god or that parries everything, or you can't get past the first turns because you can't dodge the attacks. There's no, and yes, there is an in between. Parrying is something you have to do as you're getting hit. You have to time it the moment you get hit. That is risk reward, because you could just use dodge, and dodge has huge iframes on them. They're far more forgiving. And even if you don't use any of that, your characters, like every character has a heal. You can just heal through these things. You can't put out as much damage, but you just heal. You just need to learn how to dodge, brother. Oh man, this guy's crazy. Then there is this poor design of difficulty modes. Hard is identical to normal, except enemies kill you in 1 or 2 hits, and bosses become damage sponges. No, I'm playing on hard, and the bosses, they don't become damage sponges at all. Enemies do kill you very quickly, but that's because it's hard mode. It's making you engage with the real-time action parts of the system instead of just relying on turn-based mechanics, which I think is a really smart way to do difficulty setting. Whereas other difficulty settings just raise enemy parameters for most shit, few games actually think about an actual hard mode where like they think about enemy placement. They think about how you interact with the game differently. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth have a hard mode where they take away your ability to use healing items in combat, forcing you to interact with the materia system and use that and your character's ability as the primary way to heal yourself. In Expedition 33, they're trying to make you rely more on the real-time action combat. Maybe that's not the right way to put it. They're trying to make you interact more with the real-time aspects of combat. And that's what makes it harder. You don't have to do harder. Harder doesn't reward you with anything more. It's just a different way to play the game. And I really like doing the action stuff, so I chose that way. If you don't, you can just play normal or easy and rely on the turn-based mechanic stuff and make it a traditional JRPG. Because something I hate about RPGs is usually the strongest bosses will either have one-hit kill mechanics or they will be... It's like the Final Fantasy XIII super boss, where it's just 3 characters are spamming heal throughout the entire fight and you're using poison on it. And you just have to keep yourself alive, and it's just an endurance test. This turns it into an actual skill check, and I like that. And it's optional. In a standard action game, this is annoying. In an RPG that allows you to grind until you can defeat bosses in a turn or two, which mind you doesn't take long, it is damning. Third strike and out. This guy really thinks he's clever. This guy really thinks he's playing baseball here. Little does he know he's playing fucking picket ball. No, pickleball. You can't kill bosses in a turn or two unless you're like on fucking normal, dude. I've only played like 2 hours of this fucking game and I know more about it than you do. Now the story. I'll keep it short because I'll be spoiler free because you either get this critique or you don't. But here's the thing. The game's narrative revolves around grief. It is a recurring theme. If you know anything about grief, you know that it is painful, irrational, and generally an unpleasant experience. Expedition 33 is the exact opposite. It tries too hard to be pleasant. What? What? Brother, what the... Crisp, I can show you the beginning of this game and let you come to your own conclusion, but I don't think you're going to walk away from it thinking that they try to make it pleasant. The beginning of that game is so uncomfortable. It hooked me immediately because of how uncomfortable I was. And then the scene right after that, landing on the first island or whatever, that scene was so intense and there was so much death involved. This motherfucker. All right, anyway. Yeah, I think I've been caught by the bait, bro. It can't go 3 seconds without showing off its beautiful landscapes, melodramatic music, or emotional bits. Oh, so in grieving, you're not supposed to have emotional bits. Oh, so you can't have beautiful landscapes because you're supposed to be grieving and sad all the time. Everything needs to be fucking gray. Oh, melodramatic music. Oh, because, you know, melodramatic, somber music doesn't fit with grieving at all. Okay, it sounds like these are things that perfectly match the mood of someone grieving. Also, grieving isn't painful, irrational, and generally an unpleasant experience. Grieving is a part of life. That's what I'm doing today. I'm grieving my little sister. And it is painful. It is not irrational at all. And it may be unpleasant, but it's part of life. Holy shit, man. Oh, hi, princess. Oh, sorry, I got my little baby girl cat. She just popped up here. Said hi. I haven't seen you for a while, honey. Hi. Hi. There you go, sweetie. You got your pets. Alright, run off. Anyway. It's not so much as an unpleasant experience, it's a part of life that you have to learn how to tackle eventually. And it becomes it's something that makes you stronger. It's something that helps you get through life easier. As unpleasant as it can be, it makes you stronger, which is another theme of that game. The woman who wrote that game, she really understands what she's talking about. And I felt an immediate connection with this game the moment that I started playing it. It helps that it also came out when I turned 33. The game isn't an authentic representation of grief. It's a theme park version of it. In your eyes, because you want everything to be fucking great. It wants you to feel sad without truly breaking you. It does in the first fucking cutscene. Unless you skipped all the dialogue with all the characters because you just watched the cutscenes like a Neanderthal. You claim to like good RPGs, traditional RPGs and shit, but you're not talking to townsfolk or interacting with your party members more to learn more about them. Man, if you play a Tales game, you're going to be so lost. You're going to be like, who are these characters? Because all their characterization is in the skits that are in between areas. That is because ultimately Expedition 33 is an art. It's a product. It's a product designed to make you switch off your brain and feel pleasant emotions. This is so untrue, such as catharsis at worst, to indulge in your own sadness, because grief is here not to experience it. Or sorry, is here because grief is here. Because grief is here is not an experience. Okay, it wasn't me being dyslexic. Because grief is here is not an experience. It is an aesthetic, nothing more, nothing less. But you just said that it's making you sad, but then you said it's making you feel pleasant, but it's making you feel sad? Isn't sad what you wanted? How is it making you feel pleasant if it's making you feel sad? Make up your mind. Expedition 33 combines the worst aspects of modern level design and modern art. Level design is pretty simplistic, but it's more about the characters and story anyway. And they're using it as a vehicle to drive gameplay design. I don't really agree with it, but it is what it is. But it is absolutely art. The result is the product of beautiful enough to make the consumer feel they experience something profound and innovative without actually possessing the substance to provoke any true meaningful thought. Kind of like your review, buddy. You don't really talk about why things are bad, you just say they are bad, and then you contradict yourself in your own statements. Well, that was a pile of crap, I'm not gonna lie. I wonder what this guy said. Okay. Oh man, this is great. Your account is hilarious, bro. Keep it up. Yeah, I think this guy is a contrarian. He just likes to go against the popular consensus on things. Not for any real substance or because he has anything to say. It's more because he likes to. I think he likes feeling smart that he doesn't like things that are popular. I can't really say anything about Mother 3, and I can only partially talk about Expedition 33, but even with the little game knowledge that I have, Expedition 33 is a really powerful game so far, where it really does involve you with the idea of grief. The beginning scene is grief. He is a Berwick Saga fan. I would expect this kind of behavior. Berwick Saga? What is Berwick Saga? But I can't speak on Mother 3. I've never played that game, but I've heard good things about it. Don't know about Fire Emblem. Where's more of this guy's shit? I have to... Alright, journal? Is this where you go? Yeah, I'm sorry. It's one of those things, man, where, like, my brain doesn't recognize it until I get... Oh, God, he talked about Berseria. Oh, look at all these fucking trash games. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Bro. I mean, okay, I kind of agree with Fortnite already. Genshin Impact. Everything he has is like a 1 or 2 stars. Elden Ring is half a star, bro. Dark Souls is a 2. This guy's off his rocker. Okay, hold on. Let me Berwick Saga. I'm sorry, it's probably my tired brain. I'm trying to rack my head around. The art's kind of nice. What this is? Is this the Fire Emblem guy who left and made like his own series, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay, yeah, so I was correct. Yeah, I do remember you showing me this. I remember thinking that it was really interesting. Uh-oh, am I in the same boat as this guy? Uh-oh, I don't want to be on the same boat. He smells weird. King of Fighters, Unicorn Overload, Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart. What? F-Zero is a 3, okay. That's like the highest rated thing I've seen so far. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, 5. Oh my god. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. Huh? Devil May Cry 3? Devil May Cry 3? One of the greatest games of all time. Smash Ultimate's a 1. Oh boy. I haven't played Golden Sun, but I watched Maguilar's videos on it, and they seem like they're pretty bare bones with story and characters, but the mechanics in the world seem really fun. Mega Man 6. I heard Mega Man 6 isn't great. He just hates everything, dude. He doesn't like anything. That is insane. No, I want to see his review. No, I don't want to. I don't know how to work this site, dude. Okay, I can agree with that. I do not agree with that at all. This is at least like a 3.5. Oh my god. Oh my god. Final Fantasy Tactics, one of the finest Final Fantasy stories told ever, with robust gameplay based off of Final Fantasy V with the class system that's so customizable. It's in the Chrono Trigger, one of the greatest RPGs of all time. It's one of the most focused and well polished games where it's so simple but so complex in its simplicity. It's I think I can have an aneurysm. Oh my god. I had a feeling after you said what you did, if I seen his Final Fantasy VII. Oh my god. Why is his name named as trash? He doesn't even like Final Fantasy. He hates all of them. I kind of agree with 3 here, but I would say it's at least 2.5. So Corden, oh my god. He seriously doesn't fucking like anything. Jesus Christ. Civilization 4 is the highest rated thing. It's a fucking 4. Civilization, really? This guy I really think he just likes feeling like he's smart or something. Like, I play Civilization. Yes. I don't like popular games because they're all bad and dumb and stinky. Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, Castlevania. The super RPG heavy Castlevania that most people hate? Alright. Oh, I like playing the super hard games. The super hard games are the ones that I give the 4 stars to because I'm such a real gamer. Because Ninja Gaiden was hard as balls, and so was Castlevania. I won't lie, but this is a little derivative, and it's kind of like overly simplistic. I would give it like a 2.5, maybe. This I'd give a 1 because this game sucks. This game's fantastic. I agree with the 4. Oh, now we find the games he likes. He likes Resident Evil a lot. Okay. Fighting game. Fuck. Oh, wow. I am fucking shocked he put Valkyrie Profile at a 4. This is an old school gamer. He likes old scale games. He likes the ones that make him. Oh, Romancing Saga 2. I think he likes to make. I already know this is a trash game. I don't know anything about Pathologic 2, but this tells me everything I need to know. This too. Whatever Love Mulana is. Sorry, wait, what's he playing now? Is he just now playing Final Fantasy VII? Baroque is a pretty sick game. But that's his wish list. Sorry, anyway, joking aside, memeing aside, I really do think this guy is a contrarian who really likes to upplay strategy games, fighting games, and harder to play, like difficult games. I think that's his MO. He gave Symphony of the Night. Okay. Wow. That's his review for Final Fantasy Tactics. I wonder how many people would care about, let alone praise, this boring and derivative game if it didn't have Final Fantasy on its name. This man does not like Final Fantasy. He does not give a shit about it whatsoever. Final Fantasy Tactics is one of the most well-written, character-driven, well thought out, political intrigue Final Fantasies ever with such a robust combat system where you can, like he said, like good RPGs, as he said in Expedition 33, where it has a robust class system that literally lets you make your own jobs and classes and units, and there's actual death in this game. If your character dies and it's been 3 turns after they die, they turn into a crystal and they're gone for good. And it has so much you can do in it. It is such an open game. The only thing I don't like about it is the presentation of the world map. The world map is just like little dots that you can walk between. But besides that, again, it's just a vehicle for you to play the rest of the game. They're more focused on the story and everything. The presentation, the relatability and connectivity of the main characters of Delita and Ramza, like, this is the game that got me into writing in the first place. It is so masterfully done, and the director Matsuno is actually a friend with Hideo Kojima. They used to be movie buffs together. And Hideo Kojima's gone on record saying Matsuno is one of the only people who understands how he makes video games, and he's going to be a rock star of the industry. Unfortunately, that didn't turn out because Square Enix is bullshit. In fact, Final Fantasy Tactics is a story based off the bureaucracy and mismanagement of Square Enix put into game form. Basically giving them the middle finger. I don't think he's actually played these games, and he really just likes saying, well, this is bad because it's popular. I really get that feeling. I can't look at his reviews, and after reading them in depth, like I have, at least some of them, take them seriously or at face value. It is just bait. He just wants to feel better about himself, that he's an old school gamer who loves playing super difficult games, fighter games, weird, obscure games, and he loves all the ones that people hate, and he hates all the ones that people love. I used to be like this. I used to be like this guy when I was like 16, and I grew out of it. So maybe he's 16. Maybe he hasn't grown out of it. As for me, I'm somewhere in between where I can just like whatever I want to like. It doesn't matter what it is. I like it. I like it. But I can at least put why I like something into something tangible that people can understand instead of this is derivative. What is that telling anyone about this game? But literally nothing. Oh, is this all of his reviews? Oh, I thought you actually had something to say about Final Fantasy. Wow, that's incredible. He has almost no likes on any of his reviews. No, I get you. I would too, because when I saw that, I thought he did too, so I don't blame you, Crisps. He did write something about Xenoblade, and I'm curious. Xenoblade Chronicles is a game that is hyped unanimously as greatest JRPG of its generation, and at least on face value, it is not hard to understand why. For one, there was not a lot of good mainstream competition, not even within its own niche of JRPGs. It's not really a niche, bro. But also, it had a great presentation. By far, this game was the best presentation of all the Xeno franchise, as well as an interesting premise to give it a sense of being unique, both from gameplay and story. Of course, this is at its face value, because in practice, the game falls to deliver a lot on the promise of presentation. Wow. All right. Starting with the gameplay, the game is not exactly an action RPG nor a conventional turn-based RPG. I've seen real-time RPG as a term to describe it, and I think it fits. It is not a real-time RPG. That makes no fucking sense. That is so vague and undescriptive. I don't know what the fuck a real-time action RPG is. Are you talking about Expedition 33? Yeah, I think it is too. He doesn't really understand what he's talking about. I don't know. For the story, opinion, the story is RPG that 97% they are distracted by lack of substance in the game. Part of it. So in my review that I wrote in my friend's Discord, I mean, I don't know if I could share it. Game reviews. I still have to write my review for Xenosaga 3. I finally finished Xenosaga 3 a few weeks ago. Yeah, you were there for that. But I need to write that. I have written lengthy, extensive reviews and categorized them and have highly detailed them. Everybody that I talk to on here is telling me just make YouTube videos out of them, so I might just do that. I might start putting up reviews of YouTube videos. But let me see if I can find mine. We're getting closer. Oh, here's my Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Yeah. It's several paragraphs long for all these games, to be honest. Yeah, okay, my friend has a review for Expedition 33, and he's to the point, short and concise, and he highlights things about the game and talks about his grievances, but overall he thinks it's a masterpiece of a game. And he tells you why and helps you understand why from his perspective, which is fantastic. I really like reviews like his. Mine are really wordy, and I have a problem getting to the fucking point, as you probably understand already. I think I found it. Where is it? Man, people don't post reviews in here much anymore. Ha! I haven't seen him in a while. Oh, I forgot. I mean, you can't see this right now, so I'm probably sounding like a crazy person. My first review I put on here was fucking Digimon World DS. What the fuck? Back in 2024. Digimon games are sick. No, that's not it. It's a little further down, I think. Ah, here it is. Okay. This one's actually quite short compared to my others. Because I had no expectations going into Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't want to open up Discord only because I don't want to like dox my friends and show all our private information that's in this invite only Discord. Let's see, how long is this? It's at least 4,000 words. And this is the shorter end of things. Let's see. how I worded it was Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, spoiler-free portion. A 6 out of 10 game that is greater than the sum of its parts and becomes an 8 out of 10. That game is kind of mediocre in a lot of ways. The ambition that they had with Xenosaga and Xenogears is no longer present. They were some of the first people to really start utilizing 3D graphics, and also are veterans of the industry. Monolith Soft, they're kind of veterans of the industry that have been around long enough to where they have a good grasp on game development. And since they were so early into making 3D environments, and also Tetsuya Takahashi is a he's really great with geology and like level design. They were able to make one of the very first open world games that feels really believable. It's not like open world, but it's a massive game. The maps in that game are huge, and they're also beautiful. But the characters are likable. They're not super complex and deep like Saga or Gears, but they're likable. There's no real depth to them outside of that they have likable characteristics. Their motivations are a little wish-washy. Like, I don't understand why they're doing some of the stuff they're doing sometimes. Because they say, oh, we're going to go after the main enemy faction for revenge, but they never really act out in revenge. They're always kind of like stoic and calm. Which you don't have to be like fucking raging berserker mode when you're going after revenge and stuff, but I didn't really see much emotion from them when the event happened to make them want revenge. Which is really weird because they are so good at emphasizing those things. And I thought I was going crazy, but I think they didn't care. This was the point where Tetsuya Takahashi said stories don't matter in video games. Just focus on level design, basically. Because he was so jaded about what happened with Xenosaga and Xenogears. He just was tired of his ambition of the things he wanted to make getting ripped out from under him and being watered down and having to make incomplete products that made him kind of look like a joke. Because of that, they downplayed story in this game, so like the characters aren't that great. The narrative is interesting, but it doesn't go to the same heights as Saga or Gears. But the level designs, the levels are massive. I don't know how they made this game on the Wii. They're massive. The combat is, again, like Chrono Trigger, which they also worked on. Simple, but with a lot of depth. The character building, the character customization, because you can switch out different gear on characters and the different looking weapons, and all that was really interesting. And then the last bit of story at the very end gets the Xenogears levels, which really elevates it quite a lot. And the music is breathtaking. So like all the sums of all of its parts culminate together to make like a lot of the 6 out of 10 aspects of it become about an 8 out of 10. I would even say almost a 9 out of 10. Let's see, what did I write here? Oh yeah, I was going to show that video. This guy's very interesting. Close that. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I could just read this and it'll make more sense because it's more concise than what I'm saying based off of memory. Because I also played this game almost 2 years ago now. Feels like yesterday. Let's see. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. This is the spoiler-free portion. A 6 out of 10 game that is greater than the sum of its parts, and becomes an 8 out of 10. Monolith Soft has made many anime-style games with sci-fi mixed with fantasy, with religious or biblical themes. This is their first try as a more fantasy-style game with symbolism aiming for a broader audience, which causes its writing to be average, with their stellar character writing being left behind for a more safe story. That being said, every character is likable and believable, but never deviate from their archetypes. The story moves at the pace of molasses. Pointless areas full of filler for a single-sided and unreasonable revenge story. It doesn't pick up until near the end of the game when it gets into Xenogears territory. The combat is excellent. Real-time turn-based action combat, very similar to Final Fantasy XII or a tab target MMO. Each character is their own class with their own strengths. They have pretty involved skill trees that can be shared with other people. If you have your affinity levels, that can be shared with other people if your affinity levels are high enough, allowing to share passive abilities with anyone. There is a slot system for gear that lets you add abilities like haste, auto attack rate up, or stat ups, debuff resistance, etc. You find loot in shops or by killing mobs that drop bronze, silver, or gold chests with gray, blue, or purple tier items. You can also craft gems, with each party member having a different positive ability that they bring. There's an affinity system between you and your party members that unlocks shareable, passable skill slots that can affect each other in battle, such as better healing or the AI helping you recover from knockdown or status ailments. There's no healing items in this game. They don't waste your time with that, which is a huge plus for me. The scenery, the setting, the imagination, and artistry on display is phenomenal. The vistas are a sight to behold, and the entire biomes changing completely in unexpected ways at night. The vistas are a sight to behold, with entire biomes changing completely in unexpected ways at night. The maps are semi-open, much like Monster Hunter World maps or Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, with many secret and interesting takes on platforming and very interesting level design. Monsters tower over you in many cases, with the most robust roster of enemies I've seen in a singular RPG. There are over 500 quests. They are the routine fetch quests and slay this or that, but they are all involved with the quest giver. Tells you about them or develops the world and has the effect on the entire encampment that you can find them in. I'm so tired, it's hard for me to fucking read this. Sorry. You also have affinity with towns that, when it goes up, allows you to trade with NPCs based on a set list of items that gets better as time goes on and solves many of the game's quests. And solves many quests in the game for you if you know where to look. Your equipment changes appearance, and they have a glamour system, which is very nice, with some really interesting designs. I love the main character's weapon. I don't think I've ever seen a cooler weapon in the game. It's basically like a lightsaber, but a weeb lightsaber. The music ranges from good to fantastic. It can be uplifting, intense, and catchy. Unfortunately, it doesn't reach the biblical or horror territories like Saga or Gears do, but there isn't a bad track in this game. There is a ton of content with many bosses in the game and some super boss challenges. You'll never be wanting more content. So that's a spoiler-free version of that. Actually, I think that's less words than what that guy described it with, and I think I gave a better sense of what the game's about, despite me reading it kind of haphazardly because of how tired I am. There's more of a spoiler section here that goes more into Xenoblade, but I don't want to spoil that, especially if you ever decide to play Xenoblade. But it goes into my favorite parts of the game when it comes to its narrative. I finished it off by saying, overall, I love this game. The bonus story added is okay. There was too many quests and bosses. I felt overwhelmed and never fought those super bosses or even got to max level, but it's due to fatigue and not a loss of quality. Yeah, that's the problem with that game, is that there are so many like boring standard like fetch quests. Like the design of the fetch quests themselves are really boring. They don't really add much, and it's just go kill this, find this item. Some of them are really annoying, where it's like you can only fight this thing when it's raining and at night, and you have to keep reloading the map over and over and over again. I got really bored and fatigued trying to 100% this game, and because I was trying to do all the quests and everything, I never got to fight the super bosses in that game. I never even got to level 99. Now, the case is more so for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I fucking hated that game and tried to get it done with as soon as possible. But when it came to Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I 100% that game. I did absolutely everything you could do. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a legit 9 out of 10 game. But yeah, that's the style of like reviews I do, where I go more in depth about it. At least even in that spoiler-free zone. I kind of get a little unhinged talking about 2. And I go really in depth in combat and how it works. And then in 3, I do it even worse, and it's even longer. I think my 2 review is probably 10,000 words. Nope. Never mind. I think it's 20,000 words scrolling this much, because each block of text in Discord lets you put in 2,000 characters, and I've scrolled past at least 10 of these full blocks. And then we get to Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Oh, yep, here we go. Yeah, I'd say it's at least 2,500. Or sorry, 25,000 words. No, actually, now that I look at it, it's probably about a little over 10,000 words. I had a lot to say about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because of how bad that game was, and I go really in depth in its combat systems and the reason why I dislike it so much. But I do plan, after the year of Final Fantasy 15 is over, and I make my Final Fantasy 15 review that has all the condensed information that we've learned, even just this year, or even just a couple months ago, even a couple weeks ago. I'm going to compile everything together and make that video. And when it's done, I'm gonna do a review on all the Xeno games and then the Kingdom Hearts games. But that'll be when I have my better computer, because this one is chugging along. Anyway, it's getting fucking late. I'm starting to feel tired finally. Like I can actually sleep. Sorry for talking your ear off again, bud. It's what I do. You know what I do. You know what I'm about. Excuse me. I'm getting there. We could try watching this. True Blade Seeker made a new video about Yozora and what he found, and he actually uses a mic.
Time to end this.
Yozora, the boy who will be a key to Link to Cage 4. That wasn't missing. Never before in the series we gotten a foreshadowing secret boss that had both a face and a voice. We used to just get a guy in a black coat or an armor who was silently murdering us and only speak to text box. Sure, we saw whose wrinkling role is in the secret movie, but he didn't shit talk us during the boss fight.
Shall we? Nope. You're done. You thought you'd win?
Heck, the fact that the boss fight is canon and is a secret movie by itself is so rad. The boy is the biggest potential man we got in the series yet. Whether he will remain that way after Cage 4 is to be seen, but still, I'm sure many of us fans want to know more about him. And this is the part where I'm going to do the usual "we're still waiting for Cage 4" joke, haha, it's been 6 years. But this is me rewriting the script after it's done, cause while I was editing this, because that joke is dead and we are alive, let's go! Oh crap, how many parts in this video do I have to rewrite? Hopefully not many, cause thank god Yosora didn't show up in the trailer yet. Question mark? Hi, I'm True Base Seeker. Most of you probably know me from ripping off
just a pancake meme video format
for so long he disappeared from the internet. They likely go offline and move on with their lives, but who knows? Maybe I'm there's nobodies all along. Anywho, besides that, you probably see and ignore the video of me making mod for Kingdom Hearts 3. I know most of you don't click it barely got any views, which I understand. It's really niche, not many people are buying Cage 3 again on PC, especially since my latest series of mod, The Ultimate Cut, are a more complex version of Cage 3 Super Boss. And not surprisingly, these are not made for general audience. Guys came to my channel for a joke, not to become a joke. But still, it took me a long time to make these, only for a few to challenge them and came out of it, either questioning my sanity,
why would someone do this? Like, what kind of a person do you have to be to make something like this? You know? Like, why would you want to inflict suffering upon other people like this?
Or enjoying it if you're like me who spent 500 hours on these super boss and love every second of them.
I just figured it out. I just figured out what True Blade is doing.
The last one I made was Ultimate Yosora, which is my hardest boss mod yet, but also my best work.
When I play Kingdom Hearts 3 on stream and do the level 1 playthrough, I am downloading this mod.
Which also means it takes the longest to make. Three whole months, and one of those is entirely for discipling all of Yosora boss file. And I'm sure anyone who have ever fight him at least once,
you thought you'd win,
at least several times, know that he has tons of moves. But oh boy, looking at his eternal organ is way worse. This boy has around twice as much file compared to this game data bosses, but even then, it feels like 5 times more with how many action contained in his patterns. But to that work, it let me discover what's behind the inner working of Yosora, something that aren't meant to be shown in public, like file names and data that could reference something about his origin, and even unused and unfinished files that were meant for attack and patterns. Yes, Yosora could have been officially even harder. So, I'm going to compound what I found interesting into this video, or maybe what you find interesting. I know I'm reheating my 3 years old information since I already tweet most of these findings while I'm working on the mod, but what else are we gonna do in this drought? I have some new jokes, comments on them anyway. It's probably better than reheating countless old discourse this community has. Besides, I might be doing that in the latest video anyway. Cage 3 need to be gassed up more. I better do that soon now that Cage 4 trailer is out. We are in Discord season, everybody. Let's redefining the meaning of word floaty again for the 30th time.
It is fucking floaty and you know it, True Blade Seeker, you son of a bitch.
Anyway, let's start with some of his attack file names, which gotta come with a huge disclaimer. Unlike Final Fantasy, enemy attack names don't usually show up in-game for Kingdom Hearts, and unlike the base game where there's ultimately a guidebook that details the name of each enemy attacks, what programmer are naming their files won't exactly match with the official information, if there are any, and this is not even about localization, just information that needs a second pass. And in Yosora case, who is from a Remind DLC, there is no such official supplement material to correct it. Like, did you know that in a game file, a large charge combo modifier is called Final Heaven? You know, Tifa Limit Break Final Heaven? Okay, seriously, why didn't they kept this? Another bigger problem is that this is a Japanese game made by Japanese programmer whose language class ain't their priority. They might be able to use their native language in some part of the code like description, but the game is being worked on Unreal Engine 4, so they still have to name their file in English, and their English is... well, from my own track record, I have zero right to call them out for it. I'm sure I already said a couple of typos already, but what I can say is, they did it funnier than mine. The funniest example I found is the word somersault, which got changed to summer salt. Okay, that's a really honest rookie mistake, but what a coincidence for it to happen with this series, huh? So, in conclusion, take this information with a grain of cartwheel. If Yasora eventually becomes playable in Case 4, I doubt his attack will still have the same name. Or damage. So anyway, after all that tangents, let's get into it. Most of the basic attack are very literal and not interesting, like his regular sword slash attack include air slash, turn slash, reverse slash, and continuous slash. We're gonna have to look at more advanced stuff to get something cool out of him, like Doritos.
Shall we?
The triangle pyramid he summoned to trap you in is called Tetra Circle, which is a bit confusing. I can see the Tetra part, there are 4 Doritos, but how can all these triangle make a circles? Is pyramid too cumbersome to spell? I don't know. The move where Yasora teleports his sword to attack you from behind is called Fade Away. Oh wait, excuse me, Farther Away. I feel like programmers are having trouble with letter A and E. Okay, sure, those 2 examples are pretty benign, so here's a real wacky one. You might notice that during his DM, he can summon a bunch of clones of himself to attack. They are simply called Avatar, but the last move where 10 or so clones are summoned to do a single slash before the ball is falling down looks intimidating but pretty simple, right? Yeah, and you wouldn't believe what its name is. Ready for this? Selfie Fish Storm. I am not joking. Okay, let's unpack this fuckery. The storm part, reasonable, is a generic name for a barrage of attack. But fish? I mean, his clone to look like a bunch of fish splashing on the ground, I guess. Do they mean to reference Sharknado? And then the selfie? As someone who loved doing exactly that against a super boss to disrespect, I wasn't doing it here. The window is too small to take one without taking damage. Was this move supposed to be completely different? Was it going to involve you taking a selfie with him to get an opening? You'd think I sound like a lunatic for suggesting that, but this is a boss who can steal your revive item and use it himself, so who's to say? Wait a minute, hold on. This is Final Fantasy XV. Oh, of course, how could I forget? This is obviously a reference to Prompto, a selfie lover, and Noctis, the king of fishing. This move is a ship name and Yasora is their child. There, I did it. I predicted the part of Case 4. Give me a trailer square or I'll spoil it further. Am I doing this video just for bad English joke? Am I projecting? Okay, no, from now on let's talk about cool stuff. Speaking of DM itself, the whole thing is called High Voltage. Pretty cool name, no typo this time. Also, you know how he started this at the beginning of the fight sometime? Yeah, apparently the chance of that happening is flat 5%.
Roll for desperation.
Natural 20.
Okay, I believe I'm dead.
Okay, now the real juicy stuff. There are 4 attacks that follow the same naming convention, and 3 of them also have a unique special effect that, in some way, involves stealing stuff from you. They are called Time Break, Energy Break, and Heart Break. Time Break is a dash move that shoots a cone-shaped data hitbox from his gun. Some of you might not know this, but by getting hit by this move, your timer box will take damage. This is a rare status effect in Case 3 that's also called Time Break. This reduces any timer you have on your menu currently, like situation command that aren't being used yet, form change, and even links. However, attacks that have these effects are really rare. Aside from Yasora, only Young and Master Xehanort have it on one of their attacks, and the amount of time it reduces is really small, so it barely matters at all gameplay wise, but through modding you can set the value up higher to take a huge chunk out of any boss. You can apply it on any attack you want, like an entire boss moveset, so player can abuse Link's iframe to skip 2 typical patterns. It would be really cruel and psychotic, right? Like, the modder who does that must have a personal grudge against a casual who dared to cheat to a single player game.
Bro, he just fucking scarred Simba! He said long live the Yozora, bitch!
Energy Break is that infamous item stealing move, the one that made casual consider not bringing Koopa Coin they rely so much on for the entire game onto the hardest boss in the series. The energy part comes from how it also steals health during the pull, but considering that stealing item is a much bigger deal, I would have preferred naming it Inventory Break or Wallet Break. Those 8 elixir players bring here ain't cheap. And thirdly, Heartbreak. Sick name, right? And what other move could this belong to but a Keyblade Steal? Everyone got heartbroken by this thing. Casual, hardcore, and especially speedrunners. Unskippable cutscene at the start, followed by survival mode where you can't do any damage to his health, but not his pride though, selfie is still an option. It's the kind of attack where it's not really one-shotting you, but it's such a hassle to recover that you would rather kill yourself and start over. Like, I appreciated that they made the cutscene shorter if you get hit by it the second time, but who would even get to that point before giving up that run? Calling it a temp break would have been more accurate, but whatever, Heartbreak is pretty damn rad. Can't wait for Cage 4 build mechanic to be something similar to this. No proof of contradiction yet, it seems. Let's wait for another trailer, I guess. Now, there is another attack with unique special effect that involves stealing, and that is his Judgment Cut looking move. No, not that one, that doesn't exist. That take away max HP like Data Shion Laser Pierce. Well, that move does have the word break in it, but it's called Break Slash, or Break Slash EX for the blue unblockable version, which sounds really generic and doesn't exactly follow the same naming pattern of having break as a second word. So no, the real fourth attack that ends with the word break doesn't even have an effect, because they never finished making it. Among the list of files for your solo attack, this one sits at the very bottom. The last attack you would have had, but got abandoned so seemingly early that it doesn't even deal damage. It is called Shipbreak, and through modding I can show you what it looks like. Okay, ignoring the Aura farm, that sword throw to teleport to his position looks familiar. Oh. And guess what? Shipbreaks was the original Japanese name of Warp Strike. Not to be confused with one of Sedan's attack from Final Fantasy IX, that move has the same name but doesn't get changed when localized. But at the very least, I think Yozora being a Noctis XP seems to be a common knowledge among developers, or maybe the most open secret ever. You know, I'm feeling a bit silly right now, obsessing over an attack name like some sort of shonen power scaling son. But I was a shipping daughter a minute ago, so why not? Here's a big reach take I have. Shipbreak name has probably been a thing before Nomura-san get booted out of Final Fantasy XV development. And in a way, the Versus 13 Noctis got split into 2 versions, you know, like Heartless and Nobody style, but like conceptually. Final Fantasy XV Noctis got a name, but many things got changed under different directors. And Yozora, who got a different name but still in the hands of the original creators. They are parallel to each other, I mean. In Dissidia Final Fantasy NT, you know, the game that got the biggest Final Fantasy reference in base Cage 3, look at that action figure of an unfinished Cage 1 summon. I wonder how the series is doing right now. Noctis is in that game roster, and he got a variation of Shipbreak attack that involved other weapon, aside from his default sword. You will not know it if you play in English, cause localization butchered the naming convention. He's not the only victim though. Look at what they did to the Blitz King. Excuse me? That's not a hot steel, it's Jacked Blade. Warp Strike with Spear is called Ship Meteors. With Great Sword it's called Ship Cyclone. And with Dagger it's called Ship Assault. It's interesting that the naming convention come from the same origin, yet retain the opposite part of each other. But again, let's take this with a grain of dodge roll since the actual Shipbreak move didn't make it into Yozora's actual moveset. The sword throw lacked a special effect to make it clearly visible, and there aren't even any hitbox. And honestly, consider how much of a teleport maniac this game's super boss are, regular Warp Strike feel a bit unnecessary to have. Maybe the reason it's unfinished is because it's redundant. But I did make it work in my mod, just have to replace its non-lethal sword throw with a modified Shion strike rate, and it works pretty well. Okay, that took a long while to talk about one harmless attack. Since it was both an interesting attack name and unused attack, let's transition to the latter and be amazed at what more BS the devs were planning for us. You might be wondering, when Yosora steals Sora's Keyblade, what kind of power did he get from it? Was it just one water spell and summoning a ton of Keyblade protection before kindly returning it to him? Yeah, the boy was just being polite. They were planning for him to use fire spell too. Yeah, you all better sweat. We all know it's OP and have spammed it at least once. But much like how his water spell is different from Sora, Yosora isn't machine gunning you like how you do it to him. He went for a completely different angle, and here is what it looks like.
It's over.
Well, he turned K3 OP strat into a BBS OP strat. So yeah, turns out his Poraka is a Mind Shield type move. It starts as a projectile at first, you can get hit if you try, but they all travel to the ground surrounding Sora. This Fire Mine lasts about 40 seconds, which is roughly the length of the post-Keyblade steel patterns. So I imagine the devs were planning to have Yosora set this around the whole arena to make player be more careful while avoiding his main attack. Which honestly, I love this to be real. I adore multitasking in my boss fight. It tinkled my brain, and that's why I try to implement a lot of them into my boss mod. But the dev likely thought this would be too much for players. And hardware. There are two versions of this attack style that set 3 and 7 mine respectively, and mechanically this is not nearly enough. You need at least 20 balls to cover enough ground to make them remotely threatening. But it's come with the problem that these fire effects are way too detailed and not healthy for the graphic card, particularly one inside PS4, a 13-year-old retro console. They have to optimize these effects first and make a different one that wasn't took straight from Sora, but I guess they gave up at that point. Might be for the best for Yosora himself though, cause that would not be a good look on his criminal record. I forgot to mention that his file name for his stolen attack, all of them have the word illegal in them. Illegal fire, illegal water, and illegal finish. Very appropriate, these are theft in both properties and trademark sense, but I bet he doesn't want to add arson to the list. Yeah sure, deadly lasers, unauthorized mech, and reality bending technologies are fine. It would take a while to pass a law for that in Japan, but burning the city important landmark? Nah, that crime is for Sora to commit. Either Yosora win the fight and get rid of his step witness and victims, or he lose, disappear, and only Sora goes to jail. Either way, it's a win-win for him. I'm getting sidetracked again, didn't I? Couldn't even make an informative video for the sec, just gotta keep turning it into a meme. I didn't end up repurposing this attack for my ultimate Yosora mod, but I do get him to cast Poraka spell in different way. By modifying the illegal water attack instead, also adding burning butt status effects cause it's funny.
Bro.
No chance. There.
I also use it to make him cast Blizzard spell and make a KH1 Ice Titan reference, though to make it work I have to combine it with a third and final unused attacks. It's called Invisible Shot. It allows Yosora to set laser to follow Sora at any distance, any timing, and any numbers. Besides simulating Semna's laser dome experience, but with more ear damage, this thing is extremely versatile. For modders, for player is extremely volatile. There's only one variation of this in a game file, 4 lasers circling around you that shoot in the same interval like this. But I can turn it into so many variations of laser sequences for my mod, I'm sad this file remained abandoned. Combining blockables and unblockable lasers, ambiguous tail for other attacks, or replacing lasers with ice, creating an aforementioned illegal blizzard attack. I'm surprised how well this thing works, it feels almost complete and ready to be used, but they didn't. The only rough edges that need fixing is that the position of laser depends entirely on your camera rotation, including vertically, so if you face the camera down to stare at the ground, you can make a laser spawn below the arena and just delete the hitbox. It would feel unprofessional to leave this exploit in without fixing it first, but I don't know, I use it a lot in my mod and it's not that exploitable. If you can predict when this move will appear in the pattern and preemptively turn the camera down, while also being okay with not seeing all the BS Yosora is gonna throw at you after, I would call that a skillful exploit if you ask me. Speaking of exploit, the biggest discovery I found from deciphering the Sora codes has nothing to do with his story or future potential in KH4, but solving the actual boss mystery that was so game-changing but so obvious that it made freezing bubble in KH1 feels mundane. You know about his summoning Gigas move, right? The one he did in the middle of his DM that is a bane of not just casual.
This is the incredible part. I really want to fight Zora again, because this is the only part I couldn't get my head around.
But also hardcore super boss level who can no damage to every other thing Yosora does. The patterns have so many mechs with complex behaviors and unblockable homing charge attack that there has never been a solid definitive way to dodge it. Every video guide I found doesn't have a surefire way to survive it without exploiting links or cinematic iframe. And those who don't do that or play with all pro code just glide around, dodge a lot, and pray it works. For 4 years, this single pattern has prevented Yosora from being a 10 out of 10 boss. Every other thing he does, even if it's difficult as hell, have a consistent way to deal with them, multiple for many of them in fact. So having a single unfair attack within such a consistently clever boss design feels really odd. But little do we know that every single one of us was colorblind. Turns out each mech has a color-coded aura on its surface that indicate its weaknesses, and you can one-shot them with the correct element. Even tier 1 magic is an instant delete. And with that we just cure cancer. No need to constantly be moving around like a maniac, you can survive the whole thing with 0 movement. With a Hobao MP though, just cast Fire, Dandara, Blizzard of Water, the blue one is weak to both, then 2 more Dandaras and the room is wiped clean. Need a specific timing of course, but it is beyond consistent. It's so simple in hindsight, it's baffling we take this long to discover it. Case 3 has been bringing back the emphasis on elemental weakness to almost the same level as Case 1. There are this exact color-coded weakness gimmick before in San Francisco, and plenty of data bosses has an opening that require elemental weakness. Even Yosora himself has plenty of openings that require magic, so this should have been so obvious. I might be the one to find out about this first, but I can't take credit for it because I cheat. I wouldn't have known if I didn't mod the game. I look at his file related to Gigas, and there are 3 different ones labeled red, blue, and yellow. They have different stat data, I look inside, and that's how I know. So basically, I look at the developer's cheat sheet. So in conclusion, Yosora boss fight is completely fair, balanced, and perfectly designed. Unless you play with all pro code which have MP drain and no items, so you rarely if ever going to have enough MP for this strategy, and you still have to dodge and pray the old fashioned way. But honestly that's a pro code problem more than a boss problem. And that's it. That's all the interesting stuff I could find within Yosora code. Well, this video ending up being more combat focused than a lore focus, isn't it? I thought I could become a typical KH theorist YouTuber, but I forgot I'm still a KH combat person at heart and just making this video be about his boss design. I guess the lesson of this video, if I can pretend it has one, is to appreciate what we already have. God damn it, I should have finished this video sooner. But you know what? I'm still gonna keep doing that anyway. See me again in the future where I'm back to talk about KH3 gameplay mechanics. It's not just that this game has been dunked on really unfairly, it has started to be viewed more positively in the recent year actually. But I also want to share more of this game's interesting mechanic that not many people have talked in depth about yet. I have spent a lot of time with this game, with or without modding. I have been holding up doing voice video for the longest time, but I have become more confident at writing and speaking so I can finally take a crack at it again. Still need works, but I no longer cringe at myself constantly. So I hope I will be able to put out this type of video more. Not too soon mind you, I have a full-time job, but I'm gonna try my best. And also the text-to-speech won't be retired either. I have a promise to keep. Nutshell related promise. So whichever one you came to my channel for, I hope you guys can wait for me till then. Thanks for watching.
That guy's super funny. I can't believe he solved that. I'm actually like falling asleep now, so I'm gonna go pass out. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Thanks for coming and chatting with me, Chris. I really appreciate it, especially today. I'll be back later in the day. I'll stream for longer. We'll get some Kingdom Hearts stuff done for real this time. But for now, take care, everybody. Have a good night, and keep your loved ones close. At least tell them you love them whenever you can. You don't know when next time's gonna be your last. So show them love when you can. Good night, everybody.